Flag is raised, though, on Alexander Baevsky. Welcome along then to our analogue viewers who are joining us this evening on Bravo. It's goalless, as you can see, in the UEFA Cup between Millwall and Ferencvarosi. Pretty good opening 15 minutes to this game so far that you've missed. Dennis Wise, loose pass from him, and well, that's even looser.
That's panic stations, wasn't it? It wasn't very good at all there. I mean, we haven't really seen them as a threat. They had the one shot blocked on the edge of the box by Lawrence, I think it was. But other than that, we haven't really seen the Hungarians as a threat, and I think Millwall have made a really quite impressive start. They've been patient, they haven't tried to rush it, and they created the one really good chance from the header.
Good ball forward for Livermore to chase, and they have to deal with it. Out it goes from Balog for the throw. Livermore showing good pace. He'll take the throw himself. Picked on by Harris, it will fall to Morris. His shot's blocked away. Counter-attack chance now, Josh Simpson has to get back. Dennis Wise is there, Morris with a big challenge. Did ever so well to win the ball there.
Yeah, they've got three round the ball there, they're working very hard for each other, Millwall.
Dennis Wise in possession. 4 yellow cards in 6 games so far this season. Simpson's ball is deflected away. Quite interesting that Dennis Wise chose to sign these two Canadians. He saw them on that pre-season tour. The second of the two, Adrian Seriou, is on the bench. He's got a bit of a shoulder problem, but he is on the bench. Looks like Edgar Davids. Here's Elliott with the drive, and it's tipped over. What an effort!
Well, it's the confidence of the young man. A great strike, wasn't it? 30 yards out. You thought he just might knock a little square ball on that was onto the right-hand side there. Took the shot on. Great strike. Comfortable save for the keeper in the end, but a really well-hit shot.
What a drive by Elliott, and what a fingertip save by Sush in the Ferencvarosi goal. Marvin Elliott turns 20 tomorrow. What a birthday present a goal would be here tonight. How valuable that would be for his side. Wise with the corner. Millwall's second of the game. They're looking for Muscat on the back stick again, and Muscat goes shoulder to shoulder with Sush.
Well, they were just trying that deep one again, weren't they, that Sush didn't deal with in the first place. But, you know, that was a comfortable take. We've just seen a replay of the shot there. It's a good strike from Elliott, but you'd expect the keeper to save that. It was a comfortable height for him. Well,
Sush with the free kick in his favour. Pretty much Hungary's #1 goalkeeper at the moment. Lothar Matthäus in charge of the Hungary national team just at the moment. Well, it's pretty tight so far. Millwall haven't had things all their own way, but I think it's fair to say, Billy Bonds, they've been in charge of the game.
I think they've been the better side in this first 15-20 minutes, certainly. I don't think we've seen too much of, as I say, Ferencvarosi as an attacking force. Millwall have done this, they've been patient like they're doing now. They've kept the ball, they've sucked them in and then look to get it wide or get it into their front end. This is good, you know, it's patient football.
Well, they're showing good ball retention here, Millwall. They're not in any hurry. Lawrence and Ward passing between them. In the end, pass to Muscat is knocked out. Good throw by Muscat. Bags of experience. Actually suffered a UEFA Cup first round defeat when he was a Rangers player. Hoping not to repeat that this year with the Lions. Beaten, of course, by Manchester United in the FA Cup final, but still get here as a result of the way everybody else was qualifying for Europe, and those European places were divvied out. Wouldn't it be good to see them get through to that group stage, of course, not only for the chance of progression, but for the experience they'd get, and of course the vital funding as well.
And the cash, yeah. I think Dennis Wise, I think this role suits him better. I saw him in that sort of in that diamond on Sunday, playing on the right-hand side, and I don't think he's got the legs to play in that sort of role nowadays. Sitting in the midfield there, winning his tackles, getting and using his experience, getting the ball and passing it is more up his street, I think.
In that central role, he can pretty much talk to everyone as well.
It's all going through him. Everything's going through him at the moment. He's getting all kinds of space there, and he started this one, look.
Is Elliott. Muscat finds Harris. Well, he doesn't actually, because it's intercepted as Soren Botish got across with a challenge. Here's Rossa. All into nowhere, really. Two blue shirts all around Lipschi, but Just about wins the ball first time, loses it second time. Here's the chance now for Simpson to get forward. Stephen Moore finds him. Simpson's cross could trouble the goalkeeper, but in the end it flies out. And well, there was a slight shove there, but nothing given in the end, and the Millwall fans happy with what they see so far.
Well, it was a shame, wasn't it? Because it was a terrific move. Elliott, once again, we've seen this kid. He's got lots of pace, lots of strength. Won his tackle in midfield there, got it out wide. He's done well, Simpson. He's been getting forward down this left-hand side. Just couldn't get his cross right. It was a shame because he knocked it behind the goal.
Theo Pathetis, the Millwall chairman, who will be stepping down at the end of this season if he can find a suitable replacement, said in the build-up to this game what a strange sight it was to see the UEFA flag flying above the new den. Sorin Bottis fouling his man. There we go. That's a sight that many people who've lived around this area all their lives never thought they would see. I know some of your family as well, Billy Bonds, will fit into that category. Stephen Moore down there getting stuck in. Muscat in the end wins the ball back for Millwall, finds Wise. Wise is hammered down there. What a bad challenge that was on Dennis Wise. And well, there's a bit of argy-bargy here because they didn't like the challenge and they're not afraid to stick up for their player coach.
Well, we haven't seen a replay of this yet. It's a long way away from us, but it did look a little bit late. But they're not frightened to put their foot in, these Ferencvarosi players. That's a couple of really late tackles we've seen. We're gonna. Oh, that's a little bit late and very high. Yeah.
Dennis Rosser it was, and he's going to find himself into the book here. Second yellow card of the evening, and they don't want to pick too many of those up as this match wears on. They don't want many of their players on yellows because then it starts to get nervy for them.
I don't think he's got any complaints about that. It was high and late.
Well, he's okay, of course, Dennis Wise. Dejan Delevic, our referee, with 2 yellow cards shown already tonight. Lucky for the Millwall players, actually, not to get in the book as well for their reaction that followed. What a leader Dennis Wise is. He's on the end of everything at the moment. Here's a free kick from him. Glanced away, the shot will fall here to Jody Morris. It's on his weaker left foot. There's a man open! And he just couldn't convert, Stephen Moore. Morris with the initial shot. He scuffed it, and it just fell to Moore.
Well, my first impression, he was yards offside. I mean, he's mishit the shot totally. Now I think he might have been on. I think they got out a bit late there. What a great chance.
Well, Jody Morris scuffed it, and it just fell invitingly there to Moore, the man on loan from Aston Villa. It's on a 3-month loan spell down here, you know. Just trying to get some games. He's on contract at Aston Villa till 2006.
I think he needs a goal as well, Andy. You know, he just, I saw him, as I say, he played at Plymouth opening game and missed a couple of chances down there. He just needs to get himself a goal, settle himself down a little bit.
Well, the noise levels haven't dipped one bit yet. The Millwall fans won't let that happen at all tonight, you know, no matter what happens. Great noise. Stat. Slightly off target with his clearance there. You can see plenty of empty seats inside this stadium tonight, but the Millwall fans who are here, this is what they do. All behind that far goal, they stand on their feet, put their arms in the air and just shout for as long as they can. Pretty simple stuff, but it's effective. Well,
it might not be full of the stadium, but the ones in it are making plenty of noise. They're really getting behind their team here, and rightly so, because they've given them a good show in Millwall.
Very impressed with Josh Simpson there. Great turn from him. Finds Lawrence. There's Ward now. Lawrence again. The man who's never scored for Millwall. Here's Muscat, he has. Lawrence again. They're not in any hurry. Elliott's been filling in at right back, you know, while Muscat's been injured.
He looks the sort of kid could play anywhere to me. He's big enough to be a centre-back with the size of him, you know. He's a good-looking athlete, and he's big, strong. He's quite happy right back, as you say, centre midfield, so looks a good prospect.
Just over the halfway stage of this first half. Still goalless here, live and exclusive on Bravo. Bringing you UEFA Cup action tonight from South East London. Stack again, goes long, looking for Moore. Moore with the flick on to Livermore. Just goes out for a Ferencvarosi throw.
Well, so far, Ferencvarosi are quite happy just to survive at the moment. They're not really putting anything together going forward. They're just happy to sit behind the ball, let Millwall have it, and say, well, come on, break us down. But Millwall had their chances. The header, the Stephen Moore one, and Neil Harris, if he could have just pulled in that little chip free kick over the wall there, might have put Millwall in front on any one of those 3 occasions.
Stern challenge in by Lawrence. Ferencvarosi will send the big guns forward, but they try a quick move actually to try and catch Millwall on the back foot. Stack was quick off his line. That's
the concentration levels you've got to have, you know, when you're playing in the European games. You're having a lot of the game like Millwall are. One little free kick through the middle there, and it can all fall apart. But they were aware of it, Millwall, and you just need to keep your concentration, 2 centre-halves.
We caught a glimpse a moment or two ago of the Ferencvarosi coach, Saba Laszlo. His expression really hasn't changed so far yet this evening. Taking it all in. Pretty new to coaching. Relatively inexperienced.
And that's something they haven't done, just knock the ball long and aimlessly from back to front there. They've been very patient, built up, sucked them in, and then played through them. But that time, lost a little bit of patience, just knocking the ball long, and they'll be quite happy with that, Ferencvarosi.
Just a couple of hundred fans making the trip from Hungary. Elliott climbs well. Muscat shows good composure. Something that befits a man of his age and experience. 31 now, Kevin Muscat. Josh Simpson loses the ball momentarily, wins it back, loses it again, and luckily for him it falls to Ward. Elliott with time, bit of space too. There's Simpson. I think what you have to accept about Josh Simpson, Billy, is that he's going to be pretty raw.
Yes, I mean, that's the first time he's put a foot wrong tonight. I mean, just miscontrolled it there, but he's sort of keen. He wants to get forward, and I think that's important for Millwall tonight because there is space in the wide areas for them.
Robert Wagner it is, wearing 28. Trying to straight through the middle.
Tackle again. Yeah. Gets his foot in the kid.
Well, Millwall fans, I should say, want their players to go forward a bit. They're getting a bit frustrated here, Bill, because I think this is something Dennis Wise will have purposefully told them to do, is to keep possession when you've got the ball. But I think the Millwall fans want to see a bit more of a gung-ho approach.
They got it forward there and they've just give it straight back to them. You've got to be patient. You know, they've got a lot behind the ball, Ferencvarosi, and you need to be patient. Let's be fair, they've created 3 chances, half chances, so, you know.
They've won the ball back here. They're trying to pick out Stephen Moore. On running on the edge of the area is Morris. Heads down looking for Moore again, and he actually had Livermore on his left shoulder, but he didn't pick him out, and he just acknowledged that, Jody Morris. Elliott again. He's having a good game this evening. Rides that challenge and finds Lawrence. Lawrence goes long. Moore's not there. Cleared away, though, by Baptiste. Millwall, I'd love to see the percentage of possession that they've had tonight. It's got to be up there pretty high. They've had so much of the ball this evening. Forward comes Robert Wagner again, Czech international. Rejewski was making a run through the middle. Wagner couldn't find him. All will have enough bodies back, you would feel, to deal with this. Simpson can head away. Dennis Rosser there now. Booed for that challenge on Dennis Wise a few moments ago. Good challenge by Simpson, was it? No, says the referee. Well, he does actually. He says play on. I think he allowed advantage there and broke down.
I thought Rosser made a lot of that. I don't think there was too much contact there. Anything other than shoulder to shoulder.
Well, here it is again as Rosser cuts in field.
Not for me.
Millwall will be happy with the start they've made in the opening 30 minutes of this game. Elliott's had a pretty composed evening. Here's Ward. Celebrated his birthday on Monday. Morris now to Elliott, to Wise. They've linked up well, those 3. Good vision from Wise to find Livermore. That completes the midfield quartet. Elliott back to Livermore, but again, just the fans just getting frustrated. They have to learn to be patient. They're experiencing a level of football they've never seen here before at the New Ben, and they do have to play the game differently. They certainly don't want to concede an away goal here.
I think that's the important thing, Andy. You don't want to concede a away goal because that puts you under a lot of pressure for the return leg. It's like I said before the match, 0-0 draw wouldn't be a disaster. I don't think there's a lot of difference between these two sides tonight, looking at them in quality. So, you know, clean sheet is vital tonight for Millwall. If they can get their goals, that's great.
Dennis Wise screaming at Josh Simpson there. He was looking for him as an option down the left-hand side, and Simpson didn't go. Now he's gone, but Wise won't pick him out because he's under pressure. Here's Livermore. He wants Simpson to get forward. Simpson does get forward, but the pass is too strong, and the Millwall fans continue to voice their frustration. So too does Ray Wilkins down there.
Well, that's just a poor ball from Livermore. I mean, he's looking to find Josh Simpson, who's getting forward down this left-hand side, but just overhit the pass hopelessly.
Great double at Wilkins and Wise, isn't it?
Well, I don't know Dennis, but I know Ray very well, and you couldn't get a better man as your number 2. Very honest man, knows the game inside out, and you know, one of the good guys for me.
Certainly is indeed. Great reputation amongst the game. Is that James Richardson down there? We had Gavin Peacock on last week, and that was enough of a similarity there. Both follically challenged, I think is the word. Simpson with a free kick. It's a good one too, looking for Elliott. Headed down as far as Wise. Can he pull a rabbit out of the hat and get Millwall in front? Got to say, if they were to take the lead here, Millwall, you know, they'd be able to defend it pretty well. That is their strongest 2 areas, their back line and their midfield at the moment. It's just up front where they're so weak at the moment without Dicchio and Hales. Here's a chance now for Harris to get forward. He's had to drift wide, cuts infield well. Stephen Moore was there, but a left-footed cross from Harris wasn't as strong as it could have been. Throw-in taken very quickly. Harris again lays it up. Moore again the target man, and Muscat can't find him with the cross, but they're getting another chance here with the throw. Harris has done well to beat this man. Here's Moore. Drilled in this time by Muscat, the captain, and it was on his left foot, his weaker of the 2.
Yeah, it was worth a try, but he was never going to score from there. It was a half-hit shot, wasn't it? And easy for the keeper.
Yapesh now. Wise intercepts, can't control though. Adam Kapic controls. Daniel Terzier. Will win back possession. Here's Ward forward now, looking for Livermore. Simpson's got acres of room if he fancies a little soiree forward. Ray Wilkins shows pretty good control on the touchline there.
Well, he can still play a bit. I remember training him at QPR, I worked with him at QPR, and he can still play a bit in the 5-a-sides.
Muscat, skipper, finds Wise. Elliott goes on a run. Can he keep it in? Can he do anything? Yes, he can. He can win a corner.
Well, they get the 2 centre-halves forward here, and the young Elliott, who's good in the air, and if they can get the delivery right, we know they can cause them a problem from this sort of thing.
Everybody up. Ward. Lawrence, forward they go. Here comes the corner kick. Plenty of bodies in there, and it's just touched inside the 6-yard box. And they win themselves a throw.
Yeah, they don't deal with it well. We've seen it before. They're not comfortable with crosses coming into that box, especially from corners, and they just got away with that. There's 2 or 3 Millwall players attacking it on that near post, and just got away with it, Ferencvarosi there.
There's Lawrence. Plenty of room for Muscat. If he can find him, he can. Muscat goes for the diagonal, looking for Moore or Harris. It's deflected away. Muscat wins it back. Elliott is fouled, is he? Referee says no. Just a collision of bodies, and play continues, and Elliott will have to get back, and Elliott's hurt. Forward come Ferencvarosi again, and Elliott was very slow tracking back, and he found himself on the end of that pass. And oh, here we go.
They like a row, these lads, didn't they, Ferencvarosi? They're ready to have a little toe-to-toe with you.
Well, the referee has got to keep this game under control. Billy, here we see Elliott, and there was a high foot there.
I think he's bending into the kid, in fairness, but I think what the Ferencvarosi player took offence to was Muscat smacking it straight at him.
Dejan Delivic, our referee, has to get things under control. We're going to have a substitution in a few minutes. By the looks of things, our fourth official is getting his board ready, and I think Jody Morris may have a problem. Forward come Millwall. Jody Morris has a problem, and he's hobbling around a bit down there. Shot comes in from Wise. Was it deflected? Yeah, Jody Morris, his evening is over.
Yeah, he's struggling. It's young boy Cogan coming on, who I don't know too much about.
Barry Cogan is a right-sided midfielder by trade. He can just fit in here in this diamond system, you know. Jody Morris, his evening comes to a premature end, and he gets a standing ovation.
It should be interesting to see where they play this kid then. I mean, if he's a wider player, Dennis Wise just having a word with him.
Well, he's a winger by trade, but he's going to sit just behind.
Yeah, he's taken that role of Jody Morris's just off the front too.
Problem with his neck, Jody Morris. We're hearing from down in the technical area. Barry Cogan, 19 years of age, only made his first team debut back in April. And Jody Morris, you can see the ice pack on the back of the neck there.
What a chance for this kid, 19 years old, European night, big European night. What a lovely opportunity for him.
Came on late in the second half of the FA Cup final. Comes on here late in the first half of the UEFA Cup against Ferencvarosi. Millwall still goalless here against the Hungarian side, who come here with quite a reputation. They've done their homework, Millwall. You know that Dennis Wise has been out to Budapest a couple of times. He's had them watched, he's seen plenty of videos. Well,
I'll tell you what, Andy, they haven't impressed me that much. You know, you know what you're getting when you play these Eastern European sides. You know, they've got a bit of ability on the ball, but I don't think there's a lot of difference in quality and class here with Millwall. There's certainly nothing from Millwall to be frightened of here.
Every time a midfielder has the ball and they go back to one of their defenders, you know, the fans are getting more and more irate. Here's Stefan Moore. Is he blocked off there? Referee says no. Here's Rosa. All the way back to Kapic. Muscat's going to come and challenge here. He's committed himself, but he's not won the ball. Luckily, Millwall get it. Wise will try and find Muscat. Oh! Bad challenging on Muscat down there, you know, and there could be a bit of argy-bargy to follow again. And it's Bottis, I think.
Well, it's not the first one, is it? We've seen some nasty tackling, 2 or 3 from the Ferencvarosi players, and this is as bad as we've seen tonight, that one. Very late.
Very late indeed. And there's going to be a yellow card there for Sorin Bottis. And Kevin Muscat, you know, well, he's in a bit of bother, but I think he's going to be okay.
I think Kevin's dished out a few of them in his time, but this time he was on the end of one himself there.
Jerry Dockley, the physio, does a pretty good job, actually, of getting out there quickly and assessing how Muscat's feeling. Less than 7 minutes left in this first half. Dennis Wise, the orchestrator again. And it's taken a deflection off Moore, and there's all sorts of problems here for Ferencvarosi. Didn't quite fall to a Millwall player in space. Simpson forward, it's challenged down and blocked away, and Millwall will have to be careful here, you know. All sorts of bodies trying to get back, and here's a dangerous counter-attack from the Hungarians. And Muscat heads down, Stack comes out to claim, and they looked exposed.
Well, once again, Sush not dealing with it. It was a bread and butter take. Should have taken it quite easily there, fumbled it, and just unlucky for Millwall, it didn't fall quite right for Stefan Moore, but once again, we've seen them vulnerable on crosses.
Is it important, Billy, that these Millwall players don't let the fan pressure get on them? Because, as I mentioned, every time they're going back, they're getting a bit of grief. Is it important they block that out and stick to the game plan?
Dennis Wise, I said, would be very important to them, and he'll make sure, you know, they'll keep playing, keep trying to be patient, draw them out, and, you know...
Here's the free kick, Bill.
Replay. Well, the goalkeeper, he's just flying through the air with the greatest of ease, but not getting anywhere near the ball, I'm afraid.
Millwall have possession again, and Sush in the Ferencvarosi goal was caught on the hop a bit there. Here's Stack, who's had nothing to do yet tonight.
Hasn't had a shot, has he? I don't think he's had a shot to save.
Best chance of the night so far falling to Marvin Elliott with that thunderous drive from 30 yards. Stacked forward now and long. Stephen Moore was the target. 5 minutes left in the half, plus time added on for stoppages. Just trying to think, Bill, it is that Elliott drive that was our best chance of the night, and really Millwall's only clear-cut chance.
Well, they had the header, didn't they, from Lawrence. I'll tell you what, I was just thinking just then, Andy, that the crowd wanted to knock it long. They just knocked one long ball there. They've got 3 big centre-halves there. They're not good on crosses, but anything straight up, they've got to be favourites to beat Harris and Moore.
Here's Harris going on a jinking run, and he's done well to win the ball back there, Harris, you know, and that's great determination by Neil Harris, and that's what the fans want to see. Right. A bit of direct approach.
Yeah, it's got the crowd going in again.
Here we go. Here's Harris trying to find Livermore. Was there a handball in there? The home fans thought so. Our referee, Delevic, says no.
Well, the referee had a great view of it. He was just trying to nick the ball to his strike partner there, and
now what's happened?
What's happened here?
Well, something's happening down here, you know, and Wagner's gone down. And they're just going to have to be careful not to lose their composure here. If this is in keeping with what we've seen for the evening so far, I don't mind putting my neck on the line and saying there's a bit of play acting going on.
Well, I think so. It's just it's a bit worrying and all when you've got to go out there hungry, because these have been messing around all evening, haven't they? We've seen some late tackles, we've seen some play acting, and I think this is a little bit of that, I think.
Well, as if we needed to increase the volume inside the new den. Let's take another look. Now, here's Wagner with the ball, and he's got it at his feet. Over comes Muscat. Well, there was a bit of movement there from Muscat, but I don't know how stern that contact was, shall we say.
I'm not so sure it was too much there. I think he made a move of it, didn't he? Diving to the ground.
Well, this
got the crowd going anyway.
Fantastic, isn't it? Well, we've had plenty of entertainment here in the opening 42 minutes. Muscat has a yellow card for his involvement in that incident. So the referee certainly bought it, and the fans in the background not happy at all. First booking of the evening for a Millwall player, and it's Kevin Muscat. But Millwall, after all of that, still have the throw, because the ball was not in play when the offence took place, and play will continue with some Millwall possession. You wait till Wagner gets the ball. You listen for the boos. Wise tries to find Simpson, but he sells him short with the pass. Livermore wins it back, but steps on the ball, and it's almost won there by Balog. Forward now by Terje. Headed away by Lawrence. Well, the referee's just got to keep a grip on this game here, Bill. And in terms of him doing that, I think it's probably good that half-time is less than 2 minutes away.
I think so. I think it's just boiling over a little bit now, isn't it? But Millwall just need to keep their heads. You know, mustn't panic, mustn't get involved in anything silly where they lose a man.
Simpson clears away. Had a good first half, Simpson, if you allow for a couple of mistakes. Here's Ward. In fact, the entire back four have been okay, but that's largely because they haven't been too troubled. But in terms of ball retention, they've done very well. Wise really has been the main man for Millwall tonight. Livermore is clipped. Ferencvarosi win the ball. Livermore knew the challenge was coming, actually, and it put him off somewhat. Here's Bottis. Finds Balog. Vukmir now in possession for the Hungarians. I'll say they're going to get forward now in the last minute of regulation time. Rosser. The goal here for the Hungarians would be very unjust. Wide it goes. It's going to be a corner that they have to try and ride out, Bill.
Yeah, a little deflection there off Elliott, I think. They've certainly been physical, the Hungarians. You wondered what to expect. We didn't know what to expect from them, but they're not frightened to put their foot in. They've been physical.
Poor old Rosser. You just see him as they drill it in now through Terje. Poor old Rosser has to go down into that corner there amongst the Millwall fans. Well, he's getting a bit of grief. Wise back there. There's a bit of a height difference there between Wise and Bajewski that you just saw. Certainly taking their time here. Here comes the corner. They play it short to Lipschi. Not back in, looking for the man on the back post. And it's headed away by the man of the moment, Elliott, once again, who's been everywhere.
Another terrific header, wasn't it? Great defensive header this time. We've seen him in both boxes. Watched the ball all the way, knocked it out for a corner.
Well, he was in the right place at the right time, Marvin Elliott. Probably been Millwall's best player tonight.
Been very impressed with him.
Third corner kick of the game for the visitors. In swinging, left-footed. Oh, Dennis Wise watches on as Muscat powerfully heads away.
It's an important header as well, because they were flying in round the back there, would have had a free header, but Muscat just got a touch to it.
Well, Kevin Muscat with a powerful header away. Needs to keep the troops organised. Well, we've played more than 60 seconds of time added on for stoppages. All sorts of pushing and shoving going on, you know, inside the 6-yard area. Headed on and deflected off Elliott. Was that a high foot? Moore was there. Shots blocked away. Still play continues. No offside flag, you know. They better be careful here. It's Rosser. Another corner kick, and Millwall just couldn't get the ball away.
Well, this is the first bit of pressure that they've managed to exert on Millwall's goal, and it's come very, very late.
Millwall just want the whistle to be blown.
And there it is.
And there is the half-time whistle here, blown by Mr. Delevic, who's had plenty to do. Marvin Elliott with the best chance of the game so far. A fantastic drive from 30 yards. Dennis Wise will be relatively happy, I'm sure, with the opening half here. Half-time score then at the Den. Millwall 0, Ferencvarosi 0. The thoughts coming up for you of Steve Claridge and James Richardson in a couple of minutes. Whatever you do on a brilliant night in South East London, don't go away.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here at the Den for the first night of Millwall's European adventure. They're taking on Ferencvarosi, the Hungarian champions in EUFA Cup. First round, first leg. Alongside me, I have Steve Claridge, I'm delighted to say, who has been enjoying, I think I'm right in saying, the first half. It is 0-0, I should mention at this point, and not a huge surprise, Steve.
No, it's been pretty much standard fare, unfortunately. We didn't think they'd show any real great ambition to win this game, yes, and they haven't. Millwall have got to be patient. Fortunately, the ref's very good, which is fine. I mean, you always need that when you play against these sides. And a fair degree of patience, and they've shown that. One or two good opportunities as well, and if they managed to take one, I think we'd have a different outlook. Well,
indeed. They've had plenty of chances, actually, up at the Hungarian end, but there's been a bit of a lack of anyone to actually put it in the net.
Well, we touched on this previous to the game, didn't we? That's been their Achilles' heels, and it continues to be so tonight.
Well, this was quite early on. Darren Ward's header, just 5 minutes in.
Yeah, he gets up. Well, I mean, they are susceptible to anything in the air. You know, there's not too many of those. I think it's actually Marvin Elliott that might have actually got on the end of that. But they're not great in the air. They like to play a lot of football. They're not very competitive, and that's where Millwall can get about them.
Right, as you say, they didn't look that organised at the back in terms of free kicks, corners, any kind of set piece.
No, they're not particularly big, and they're not particularly a threat in the other box either. So that's where Millwall can take advantage of the situation.
Okay, we mentioned earlier. Let's have a look at the chance he had about 16 minutes in.
Yeah, it comes to him. I mean, they give him a little bit too much room. It's a good shot, but he just gets the ball just caught underneath his foot a little bit here. His first touch, just a little bit close. He's got to take an extra step, allowing him to close him down. And to be fair, keepers will take them all day long. You know, they're not difficult ones for the keeper. He's just got to touch that and touch it and it goes over.
There was an element of frustration among some of the Millwall fans about the fact that the ball wasn't getting forward fast enough. But at the same time, they've got to be impressed with the way they've been dominating the midfield, the kind of organisation, the passing. And there've been some very nice. There's been some very nice build-up play. There was a bit of Morris work that. Well, I think actually Morris scuffed a more combination.
Had a super opportunity, didn't he? I mean, I don't think he realised the time that he actually had. Ball gets played in. Yet again, it's a free kick. Jody Morris scuffs this completely, and as they're coming out, I mean, the other two possibly look offside. But Stephen Moore is, I mean, it's clearly onside here. As he comes out, as you can see, Neil Harris is offside. He obviously thinks that they're offside. he can take a touch, he can do anything without the time and space. I mean, that generally is, with no disrespect, a good forward does appreciate how much time he's got.
Right.
I mean, you've got to hit the target there. That's the best chance they'll get tonight.
Okay, well, Millwall are out to have their first choice forwards out. Any chance do you think we'll be seeing Daniel Dicchio on?
I think we'll see a cameo role possibly from Dicchio.
Yeah.
We've seen that it's susceptible in the air, and I think that's where Dennis will look. Maybe 20 minutes, might have 20 minutes in him to put the ball forward. And I think that's when you'll see the patient play go out the window. I think we'll see them get it forward and just play off Danny. Okay, that's being patient, but no lack of passion. You've probably seen some of the tackles flying in, some of the confrontations between these two sets of players. Well, we imagine that there would be a fair amount of cynicism in their play, and that's been proven right as well. I mean, at every chance they're going to leave something on you. I mean, that's the way they are. That's the way they play.
Referees handle it well.
It's been fantastic. Referee, I mean, absolutely vital in these sorts of games. You know, I mean, to be fair, Muzzy, Wisey, they'll give it, they'll take it. You know, that's the sort of thing that they expect week in, week out. So that's not a problem. But it is important that the referee gets a grip, gets a handle on the game, which he's done right from the very start, taking no nonsense, and that's why we've got a good game on our hands.
Indeed. It looks like a game that's there for Millwall's taking in the second half.
Absolutely. I mean, if they get one, you know, they'll need something to go back to Hungary with. I think the Hungarians will take this a 0-0, and they will rightly so fancy their chances at home. So Millwall will need something to take that.
Are they going to get it?
I don't think they'll get that many chances. If they get one or two more, they have to. I mean, they just have to take one of those.
Right, but you want to see a big centre forward going on, maybe someone like Daniel Dicchio.
Well, I'd like, certainly in the last 20 minutes, if the patient play doesn't work, I think Daniel Dicchio could certainly be an option that's worth considering.
Right, OK. Now, the Hungarians, for them, you're saying a 0-0 will be fine, but at the same time, at the end of the first half, after remaining pretty quiet for the first 40 minutes or so, they suddenly started putting pressure on the Millwall end.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see a little bit more pressure from them. I think they'll probably be a little bit more ambitious this half without going stupid and going overboard. But as I say, if they come away from this with a 0-0, they'll be more than happy.
Right. Millwall probably wouldn't be too disappointed either. It would be catastrophic for Dennis Wise's boys were they to concede an away goal tonight. At the moment, it stands at 0-0. We're going to take another break. We're going to be back in a couple of minutes' time with the second half of Milan against Ferencvarosi, live and exclusive here on Bravo. See you for that then, right after this break.
Live and exclusive coverage of Millwall's match here in the UEFA Cup. Dennis Wise will be happy that his side haven't conceded in the opening 45. And I just wonder, Billy Bonds, exactly what his team talk consisted of there.
I think you'd be very pleased with the way they've played. And I think you'd still be preaching patience. I think they've worked the ball very well. A lot of it has gone through Dennis Wise. But the trouble is, Andy, I think when they've got it into the front two, it hasn't really stuck. I think they've got muscled out of it, the front two, a little bit. Neil Harris has been a little bit off the pace, and Stefan Moore is lacking a little bit of confidence, just needs a goal. But if they keep being patient, I'm sure they can create a couple of openings here.
Somebody said to us at half-time, if they had Danny Dicchio playing, then they could well be 1 or 2 up.
And Owls, who knows, yes, you know, with their front two, and Paul Ifill, obviously, he's sitting on the bench as well, but they're not quite fit enough. But they've put up a good showing. There's certainly, like I said in the first half, not a lot of difference in quality here.
Well, we're off and underway then for the second half. Millwall in the blue attacking the goal away to our right-hand side. Ferencvarosi of Hungary attacking the goal away to our left in that white kit. 0-0 here as we enter the second half. And, well, it was all pretty tasty before the half-time whistle in the 3 or 4 minutes building up to that. Hopefully things will have calmed down somewhat, because the last thing really Millwall's players need to be doing is getting their mind off the game plan. Very important that for them.
Yeah, concentration, especially at the back. You know, we talked about it in the first half. Ward and Lawrence have got to be on their toes. You know, they're not having a lot to do tonight. They haven't really seen too much pressure on their goal. It just needs that one little break and just a little lapse of concentration, and you can find yourself in trouble. So they've just got to concentrate, and hopefully Millwall create a couple of chances and maybe find the net.
Passing it around well here, Millwall. Challenge on Lawrence, took him down. The referee says no foul. Play continues, and Lawrence needs to get up pretty quickly here. Dennis Wise nearly took a boot in the head there and did well not to react, actually. Maybe he is maturing as he gets more experienced as a coach. Oh, here's a turnover in possession. Robert Wagner wins the ball. Ferencvarosi on the attack, but really there was no meaning or purpose to it. Flicked on now by Moore. Harris was looking to get him behind, and Yepes cleared away. Jody Morris taken off in the first half with a neck injury. Wagner controls down. He was the player at the centre of that storm just before half-time. Millwall will pick up loose possession here. Muscat won't keep it in, but he'll take the throw quickly to Elliott, who, amongst the gathered press at half-time, the general consensus of opinion was that Elliott had been the star performer in the opening 45. Showed maturity beyond his years, just 19. Muscat can't get there. Rosser heads away, gives it to Wise though. Elliott back to Lawrence. Just tripped over the ball, did he? Well, there was enough input there from Kapic to earn Millwall a free kick. Marvin Elliott thought about taking it, but then realised he actually needed to leave it for his gaffer. Don't want to start pinching his free kicks off him, you get dropped the next game. Yeah,
it's like I said in the first half, Andy, I think the two full-backs are important for Millwall because you can change it to them all day. They've got to keep wanting to get forward and break into those areas, in the wide areas.
Here's Kogan, great bit of skill from him. Can he get the shot away? He can, it's deflected though. Harry Kogan, just 19 years of age, he's come through the Millwall youth system and he's got Ferencvarosi on the back foot here. Simpson with the cross, blocked away, corner kick, and all of a sudden the Millwall fans behind their team once more.
Well, that's Josh Simpson right up on the edge of the penalty area there, and he can get into those areas. They're only playing a one-up, and full-backs can get it all day in those areas.
Dennis White stands over it. The big guns all up. Elliott, Ward, Lawrence, Muscat. Kogan's on the edge of the D. Flicked on by Moore! Harris was there, couldn't steer it in. Muscat cleared away by the goalie. Great chance, Millwall.
What a good opportunity. Great header, wasn't it? Stephen Moore on the near post, but just couldn't. I think it was Harris just went over his head there and looking for the flick on the second ball.
Ball won well by Lawrence. Still Millwall have possession and they need to try and harness some of this momentum and turn it into a goal.
Which they've been so deserving of. For this second half. They've got the crowd right behind them again.
Good ball looking for Harris, but just too much on it from Lawrence. It's good vision, though, from the defender. Let's have another look, Bill, at this corner. Flicked on in the end by Moore, and Muscat just put it back in.
It was just over the head of Harris, wasn't it? Could have dropped kindly for them, but didn't.
Well, I just wonder if we're going to see Danny Dichio in the latter stages of this game. He's got a groin strain, and they can kind of be there without actually hurting at the time. The problem is do you risk him as a manager?
Well,
is this game worthy of it?
I think he's going in for an op, I've been told, Andy, so, you know, maybe he's not going to do any damage. If he's having an operation, then, you know, you might as well risk him tonight.
Well, we might see 20 minutes of Danny Dichio. We've seen 49 minutes of Millwall domination so far here tonight in South East London, I think it's fair to say.
We've got Eiffel as well to come on, maybe, you know, he's got that pace.
Here's Elliott, and the defender slipped. Well, my instinct was he slipped there, you know.
Very unlucky, young Elliott. I think the defender slipped as well. I think he's very unlucky.
Ray Wilkins is getting Elliott back quick smart. Let's take another look. Well, he fell over his own feet.
Didn't look too much in it, did it?
Sorin Bottis fell over his own feet there and got away with it. Still the Millwall pressure is being applied. Harris intercepts the pass. Livermore will try and pick it up. Threw it down and away, and well, play was being allowed to continue, and they've picked the ball up there. And have they given away a free kick by scooping the ball up, or is it a Millwall throw?
I think he's just given it the other way to Millwall, I think.
He's given a free kick here, isn't he?
He has, yeah.
The Ferencvarosi player picked the ball up thinking he'd won a free kick. Fortunately, the whistle hadn't blown, and the coach, well, the expression never changes, does it? And under pressure at the moment, the Ferencvarosi coach, sign of being outplayed. They're hanging on. 5 minutes into the second half. Here's the Millwall free kick. Elliott heads on again. They're looking for Kogan on the back stick. Kogan does well to get the ball in. And it's going to be Millwall's fifth corner kick of the evening.
Once again, an important header from Elliott. He's winning everything in that box now. Good header on, and they've forced a corner.
There's Barry Kogan's neat bit of skill. Here comes the corner that results, and Marvin Elliott was powering through the 6-yard box. And Ferencvarosi can only head away.
Great start to the second half. They've come out and they've put Ferencvarosi on the back foot straight away.
He's nothing if not a motivator, Dennis Wise. Here comes his corner. They go deep this time, and Ward was there. Muscat, I think, will keep it in. Tries to get another cross in, and if this goes out, it would be a Millwall corner, but Muscat actually heads out. Well, it was Ward who was rising there.
Wasn't far away either. He was, just couldn't quite make a solid contact on this. Good ball in, back post. Oh, he's got above the defender, but it's just got to stop his head there.
Where's your money as we enter into this second half, Billy Bonds?
Well, I'm hoping Millwall can get this goal, you know, take at least a goal lead out there. They've been in no trouble at the back. Just to see if they can get this, maybe one goal take out there. But as I say, keep a clean sheet. There's not a lot of difference between these two sides. There's no difference in quality. And I think if they even go out there 0-0, you still wouldn't write their chances off Millwall.
Well, Baevsky was fouled on the far side by Livermore. It was more a coming together of bodies as they both chased the ball, but the referee gives Ferencvarosi the benefit of the doubt. Here we go. Well, Livermore using his shoulder there. A bit too strong for his opponent. Lipshay is running offside inside the penalty area. And they go for goal, and they hit the side netting, and some of those fans there behind the Millwall goal, patrolled by Graham Stack, thought that might have gone in.
Well, the goalkeeper knew exactly where he was there. He had that covered all the way. He knew where it was going. No danger. They still haven't forced the keeper into a save yet. They haven't had a shot on target yet.
You don't pronounce it like that, that's all I can say. Terzier. But if anybody's watching at home with the volume off for any reason, they might think otherwise. Here's Moore. Loses out.
Just hasn't stuck, has it? When it's gone up to him, it just hasn't stuck, the front two.
Well, Harry Cogan went in pretty hard. It's been a great game, brilliant spectacle here tonight. They've certainly had their money's worth, the 12,000 or so fans who've made their way down for this game tonight. Elliott with a foot in, finds Muscat. Muscat up to Wise. This is what Millwall did ever so well in the first half. Played the ball around amongst themselves. Ferencvarosi on the attack again, and Dennis Wise is there to make the telling tackle, as he's been so often tonight. Ray Wilkins telling his players to be calm as they attack. Kogan let it run on, and Sorin Botis cleared away. Muscat's throw. Harris is in a bit of space if he can find him. That's where he goes, in fact. Lays it off to Elliott. Elliott's out-muscled here, though, by Kapic. Baevsky with the scream as he was tackled by Wise. Wise comes to shake hands. 5 years ago, he would have pinched him as he shook his hand there, you know.
He's still winning his tackles in there. He's won some great tackles in this second half, Dennis Wise.
He's 37 and he shows no signs of slowing up, you know. Helps him sitting, as you said, Billy, in the first half, right in the middle there. Everything goes through.
Suits him, yeah, it suits him.
It's like Teddy Sheringham, who's having a great time in the Coca-Cola Championship at the moment. Even if the legs go, the head's still there.
Well, it's just as important as being able to sprint quickly, isn't it? If you can, if you're intelligent and you can pass the ball, then age doesn't matter, I don't think.
I'm trying to think when you stopped playing, Bill.
Too old. 41. Well, it felt like it anyway.
Livermore on that far side for Millwall, but the ball just went out of play. It's going to be a Ferencvarosi throw, which will be taken by Balog. Well, the Millwall fans doing their best to urge their side on here. It's been a great atmosphere at the New Den tonight. Hope that's come across for you watching at home. I'm sure it has. Muscat to Wise again. Made the pass without looking, and Ward just drops it back for Stack. Goes long, and the offside flag just raises on Harris, and well, that was tight.
Yeah, it was close, but I think he just drifted offside. The problem for Millwall at the moment is they just can't get the front two into the game. They're doing everything right. They're passing it around across the back, working it in the midfield, but they just can't get the front two in the game to maybe just try and get this back three a little bit more.
Well, the coach, haven't seen him smile yet tonight, you know, and I don't think that's going to change for some time the way Millwall are playing. Muscat in hard. Tergier, the throw. There's Rosser now. Rosser in field. Ferencvarosi, who drops deep. Wise goes long down the channel for Elliott. Muscle there by Bottis, but unfairly so, says the referee.
Well, I suppose the coach would have thought, he said all the right things about we'll show them respect and they must be a decent side, but I suppose he thinks they're in a league below our top league, halfway down there, and I think he'd have been unpleasantly surprised tonight because Millwall put up a terrific show, I think.
Kogan putting pressure on the back line, and Bottis just clears away for a Millwall corner. There's a bit of a turning off down there, you know, for the coach. Sala Laszlo. Millwall fans on their feet behind the goal, away to our right, where Dennis Wise will take the corner. 7th of the game. Oh, big header in there by Elliott. It just was carried away in the end by the goalie. He rose so tall, Marvin Elliott. And in the end, Kaplich didn't know where the ball had gone.
That's been their best route, I think, for a goal, isn't it? Their set plays, corner kicks, that's where they've looked like they might just break this side down.
Muscat tackle, Wise helps out. Will win the throw. Tell you, Dennis Wise has been everywhere. Corners, left side, right side, throws in the middle of all the action. Here's Harris to try and turn. Goes down inside the box. Referee says no, and Harris thought he should have said yes.
Well, the referee was right on top of it, so he had a terrific view of that, and he felt no. Just going back to Dennis, I thought looking at him Sunday against Ipswich, you know, maybe the old legs were coming to the end a little bit, but he's been terrific tonight, he really has, and young boy Elliott alongside him.
Well, he played in the Cup Winners' Cup final for Chelsea against Stuttgart in May '98. One of the highlights in an illustrious career for Dennis Wise. Played in both legs of that famous Champions League quarter-final with Chelsea and Barcelona, of course. Knows all about the European stage and how to do well. So far, the game plan he's devised has worked. Free kick there for a foul on Simpson. Let's have a look another time at this penalty incident here, Bill. There's Harris. Lost his foot in there.
Yeah, you've seen them given, but not for me. They're cranking up the pressure though, Millwall. This is, you know, they've got another chance here to put this ball into the box. Got the centre halves up there.
Well, our referee adding another Hungarian name to his book tonight. Dennis Wise takes the free kick cheekily down that left channel for Harris, and they win the corner. I guess they felt that was the better option, and they're on their feet again.
Well, it's like I say, they're knocking at the door, and this has been their best route to goal, so good delivery again required.
They're knocking at the door. Can they bash it down? Wise's corner, the goalie's fumbled it, and it's in the back of the net for Elliott, but the whistle has gone and it won't stand. There was a foul there, I think by Lawrence, on the goalkeeper, and Elliott's goal does not count. Well,
any kind of contact now with the goalkeeper, and it's normally a free kick to the goalkeeper. I don't know whether it was a foul or not. There's a lot of bodies there, but you can usually bet if the goalkeeper gets touched nowadays, he'll get a free kick. Well, I didn't see too much wrong with that.
He didn't move towards the goalie. He didn't show any intent to try and knock the ball out of his hands. They just happened to land together. Well, that for me looked perfectly A-OK.
Yep, same here. But it's like I said, any kind of melee or slight contact, and it goes in the goalkeeper's favour now.
Well, unsurprisingly, it was Marvin Elliott who was there in the right place at the right time. How many occasions have we said that about him tonight?
He's been terrific, isn't he? Really has. Very mature performance.
Howard got in the game. Livermore has just given possession away rather sloppily there. He passed without looking. Here's another look, Bill. Another angle.
Well, I don't see it's Lawrence challenging him, and Lawrence has just gone for the ball. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Fair and square. Skewed away by Ward, and he just for a split second there laid on the ground and just thought about what he'd done. He's given away a corner kick here. It's only Ferencvaros's fourth of the evening. They're in no hurry to take it either. Over comes Terzier to take. The big guns are up. Vukmir, Yepes, Botish. The back three all going up there. Here's Lipschi. Back to Terzier. Floats one in and powerfully headed away by Ward. Oh, they were trying to beat the offside trap there through Rossa. They'll just be shepherded away. Kevin Muscat just needs to be calm there, you know. Confirmation it was Balog who took the yellow card. But Muscat getting stuck in again, and they're playing with an urgency. They want to get the ball and they want to take everything so quickly, but sometimes they're just getting a bit frustrated with it.
I think just keep patient, but I'll tell you what, I've not seen anything from this Ferencvarosi side that shows you that they've sort of got too much creativity in the last third of the pitch, and you know, I think that augurs well for the away leg. I think they're going to get up to a few tricks out there, all the diving we've seen out here tonight, but you know, I haven't seen too much from them, so still important Millwall maintain their discipline, keep a clean sheet. If they can nick a goal, that'll be great.
Wise finds Muscat. Elliott heading on, and there's an arm right around there, the shoulders and neck of Neil Harris, who doesn't mind having a wild swing, and well, I thought he was being held there. Oh, Ward, I should say, bumps into Wagner down there.
They really haven't been troubled at the back, Millwall. I mean, apart from that little last couple of minutes of the first half where they put a little bit of pressure on their goal, with two centre-halves, haven't been troubled at all tonight. Mind you, I don't want to tempt fate here.
Here's Stephen Moore now. What can he do? Runs into a brick wall, and there's a free kick for Millwall. And that's a bit cynical, says Stephen Moore. Well,
it was a needless foul as well, because there was another defender getting back in there around on cover, and I don't think he was going to go anywhere, Stephen Moore's. Needless foul, but a great opportunity for Millwall. Terrific opportunity here.
I wonder who fancies this one. It's got to be Dennis Wise, has it? Muscat might step up for a look.
Make the keeper work here, that's the important thing.
Looks like Muscat has been overruled. Souche organising his wall. Plenty for them to aim through. Referee wants the wall back 10 yards. Kogan's gone on the left side of the wall now. Oh, thought about playing it there for Kogan. Will it be Wise? It will, you know. It will, you know. It will. He scored. Dennis Wise. It had to be him. And Millwall lead. And there's not one man who deserves it more on this field than Dennis Wise. And with 65 minutes gone in the game, his Millwall side had the breakthrough.
Good strike from Dennis Wise. I'm not sure if it took a little deflection, but a terrific free kick, found the far corner, and certainly no more than Millwall deserved. They've paid for their patience, they've been very patient, they've waited and waited, and now they've got their reward.
What a free kick by Dennis Wise.
Or might have taken a little deflection, who cares? Who cares?
Millwall. It's in, and Millwall lead, and that's all that matters. The goal is well deserved for the team, and the goal is well deserved for the individual, but they'll have to be careful here. Ward clears away, and Muscat can't stop it going out for a throw. Rossa will take.
Now another goal would be brilliant, take a 2-0 lead out there, but 1-0, that's a great scoreline to take out there, it's not a problem, so concentration at the back again, all like they've been doing.
Ferencvarosi on the attack, and what a challenge by Elliott.
He's been everywhere, the kid, isn't he? Tremendous.
Recently signed a contract extension, Marvin Elliott. Chested down this time by Baevski. And Muscat can get the ball away, and here's Kogan, and Harris was just sitting between the two central defenders there. If Kogan could have flicked it on for him. Bottis evades two challenges. Still going, Soren Bottis. Finds Wagner now. Here's the captain, Lipschi, goes for goal, deflected. And Stack was just off balance for a second there. Luckily, it goes wide.
Trying to respond, Ferencvarosi, but good block there. Still haven't had a shot on target yet, but trying to respond now.
We are halfway through the second half. There's the Wise goal that gives Millwall the lead, but they have to defend another corner. Lipschi takes a tumble in the 6-yard box. Well, Dennis Wise, Ray Wilkins.
Well, Ray's not smiling, but I bet he's happy. I bet he's happy. He must be well pleased.
But
he knows the job's not done yet.
This is the job of Ray Wilkins, because whilst Dennis Wise can get stuck in and get involved and get caught up in the moment sometimes, as players do, and you would forgive Dennis Wise that, Wilkins has got to steady the ship, make sure they keep their heads. And he's doing that so far. Stack with the goal kick. Balog it was who jumped high, and well, if he was unhappy for the opening hour, his mood's not improved. Neither has theirs. Bit of a delay getting the ball back from the fans over on that left side, which Josh Simpson will patrol and try and get forward now. Tackle though. Wagner. Haven't seen too much of Wagner tonight, you know. Before the game, I just wondered if he was going to be a big threat, Wagner. Played alongside Vladimir Smicha and Karol Poborski, you know. Robert Wagner. That was when they were all at Slavia Prague together. They won the championship in 1996, those three together. Well,
they talked about Lipschi, didn't they? But we haven't really seen him, you know. We were told he would be a threat, but haven't really seen him either.
Here's a bit of space now. It's a 4-on-2 attack for Millwall, and Kogan has beaten his man, but the referee bails out Ferencvarosi there and says Kogan fouled his man.
Well, it's not the biggest Kogan, is he? And he's going up against a great big centre-half here. He might have just clipped his heels, just in fairness to the centre-half, but wasn't a lot.
We're going to have a substitution in a minute. All the way back to Stack. Balog heads down. Here's a ball forward for Muscat now, and he's got a bit of room, and Harris makes a diagonal run. Muscat goes back to Elliott. Wise will play it in, and Muscat's tugged down, and that's cynical there by Terzier. And I think he could find himself in the book now. Muscat doesn't need to protest.
Well, he's got caught on the run, hasn't he, Terzier? Muscat's running behind him. He knows he's been done. He's been caught ball watching. He's just cynically dragged him down.
That's 4 players for Ferencvarosi on a yellow card. Here comes the substitution. Dennis Wise is coming over for a quick drink, but it's the end of the evening for Robert Wagner. We said we hadn't seen too much of him. And
Penska, is it?
Yes, Penska is coming on. It's going to be interesting just to see how much he can add to this. He's a Slovakian international, 31 years of age. He's been around the block at the lower levels of European football. At the moment, though, it's Millwall who whip it in through Wise, headed on at the back post, and just a little bit too much on that header.
Well, once again, it was a terrifically well-worked free kick. It was Wall just peeling off round the back post, and Dennis Wise beautifully flighted, found him, and he's just needed to just cushion that down a little bit. There was 2 Millwall players looking for the second ball there. He's just overhit the header there, Wald, and just missed them both.
Ferencvarosi going on a rare run forward, and poor Muscat, I don't know if he needed to head that, but he probably didn't know.
Yeah,
he got a shout.
He didn't know what was going on behind him. There was a good ball in as well, and with pace, and he did well there, Muscat. He had to play safe.
Terje then with the delivery. Simpson blocks. Rossa runs in with the bald head there, wearing 20. They've dealt with him. Everybody was back defending that set piece though, and Millwall couldn't take advantage of a potential counter-attack. Lawrence away. Route 1 stuff. Millwall fans don't seem to mind that.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of that from Millwall tonight. They've played very patient, got their goal lead, and can they add to that now?
When Dennis Wise shakes hands with an opponent and gives him a little tap round the head, it's more of a smack. Yeah, I think he's just saying, oi, behave yourself. He's got his ways of winding people up, hasn't he, Dennis Wise, and they certainly work, and it all adds to the game, but he's put his side in the lead here on 65 minutes. Here's the substitute, picks out a great cross, and there's a not bad effort, you know. It was Penksa who drilled it in, and over on that far side, Balog. What a ball.
That's a good ball to the back post. Balog in a lot of space and just blasted it over. That's their first real, well, half chance really, isn't it, they've created.
There's the chance as well that was headed back across the face of goal by
just needed to
Ward.
cushion that down a little bit more, just a bit stronger the header there, Ward.
Has it been more of an even second half for you, Bill? Have we seen a bit more of the Hungarians?
No, I don't think so. I think Millwall dominated the second half as well. You know, they're only just livened up now. They've gone a goal down. They've started to try and come forward, but up until then, Millwall were taking the game with them.
Here's Kogan, runs into his marker. Elliott links up well with Wise. Wise is taken out. Free kick is now given, and Dennis Wise put the big thumbs up there to the official, and there was just a split second when I didn't think that whistle was going to come.
I thought he was going to let that go, yeah, so did I. I mean, he did have his legs taken away from him. I don't think it was anything nasty, but certainly lost his legs there.
It was upended, and here's Harris now from Simpson. Back to Simpson. Simpson's got nowhere to go, and do they need an arm round Simpson there like that? Don't think they do. Cap pitch it was. Free kicks taken quickly. Kogan, or Harris I should say, goes down. Wise finds Muscat. He's always got Muscat there as that option. Finds himself in good space, Muscat. Stephen Moore now to Kogan.
Well, it's like I was saying, Andy, both the fullbacks have got acres of space tonight. You know, you can gallop into those areas.
Can Kogan deliver a telling cross? He can. It's headed on, but it's headed over by Neil Harris, a man whose scoring record for this club is impressive. 25 league goals in that 99-2000 season when he really burst onto the scene, and a great ball there for him by Kogan.
Yeah, he did well, little Kogan, but he was always struggling to get over that ball, Neil Harris, and ended up putting it well over the bar.
Wise all the way back to Stack. Here's Stephen Moore on the attack. Just can't get there before the goalie, Sush. Moore was impeded there actually, but the referee allowed play to continue. Wise again finds Muscat.
He's been excellent, Dennis Wise. He's used all his experience in this game tonight.
The goal might have actually just swung him in my thinking of man of the match tonight.
Well,
you know.
I think the two outstanding performers have been the wrong end of the age group. You've got Dennis, 37, and the young kid in there, 19 years old. I think they've been outstanding.
And
but it's
Elliott
been
again.
a great team performance. It really has. A terrific team performance.
Well, I think Millwall have nothing to fear, you know, going to Hungary. And here comes the substitution that will bring these 12,000 Millwall fans onto their feet. It is the return from injury of Paul Ifill, a hugely influential player in this part of London. Injured his ankle ligaments 34 minutes into the season in the opening match at Plymouth. And it's Stephen Moore who makes way. And Paul Ifill can come on and have a huge impact in this game.
Stephen Moore hasn't had a big impact in the game, really, but this fella has got pace, I feel. Looks like he's going to take up a position on this right-hand side at the moment, and they're going to play Harris up through the middle, but we'll wait and see.
So 5 in midfield. EUFA will try and get forward.
I think he's going to play through the middle, Andy. I think he'll play through the middle with Harris. He's got great pace and he'll run at people.
Well, there's a 9.9.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing this, though. This is bad areas to be giving free kicks away. You know, you've got to be careful here, because this is what they'll be looking for, something where they can at least get a strike on goal here.
Well, I can't quite believe how high he managed to get in the air there. Take a look at this. Oops.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Oh. Yes, a little bit of overacting there, I think.
Bit of work for Stack to do. Lipschi will fancy this one, wearing 6. He's pretty much the free kick specialist amongst the Hungarians. They've got runners. It's Lipschi. It's on target and it's in. Stack got a hand there, couldn't keep it out, and that is unjust if ever I've seen it. It was a dive to win the free kick, but fair credit, it was a good free kick when he took it. 1-1 here.
Yeah, it's unjust, but that's European football for you, Andy. Free kick on the edge of the box. That's the first time they've hit the target, and I'm not so sure the keeper shouldn't have done better with this. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. It's over the wall. Good strike, but as you say, very unjust. It's against the run of play. But that's what European football's all about. They've nicked their goal, and they'll go home very happy if this scoreline stays the same.
Well, we're going to have another substitution, I think, for Ferencvarosi. Well, no, the referee says play must continue. In fact, it looked like they were ready. Turns out they're not. And it's 1-1 with 12 minutes left to go in the game. Well, it was some free kick, wasn't it, from Lipschi?
Good free kick. I just felt the keeper might have just got across there a bit quicker, but looking at it again, maybe it's a bit unjust to blame him for that.
Well, now they are ready. It's going to be Alexander Majewski who makes way. Thomas Sarunni is the man waiting to come on, and they're in no hurry at all to get on with this. Interestingly, Danny Dicchio is coming on for Millwall. Well, they're going to go for it there.
Well, they've got nothing to lose, Millwall. Danny Dicchio had given that bit of height in the box for set plays, and he's a good target man, Danny. When he goes up there, it'll stick, so nothing to lose, Millwall. But it's very, you know, they don't deserve that, Millwall. They've been by far the better side. As I say, 1 strike on goal from the Hungarians, and they find themselves level.
Fair credit to Neil Harris as well, who's led the line pretty admirably up front.
I think he hasn't had it off tonight. He's been a little bit off the pace, but he's never stopped working. As you could say that about all the Millwall side. They've worked their socks off tonight.
Well, Neil Harris's work is done for the evening. What can Danny Dicchio do? Playing with a groin injury, due to have an operation in the next few days. Here's his first touch. And Ferencvarosi, no, he is a danger man. Before this game, it was only Jody Morris who had scored in the starting lineup tonight. Danny Dicchio has 3 goals, and that's 3 of Millwall's 4 from the league campaign. Graham Stack was a little bit precarious there, shall we say. Here's Eiffel now. Kogan will make a run in field, and Eiffel is taken out pretty cynically. Dennis Wise will take the free kick. The big guns will get up once more, and it's going to be Dicchio, I'm sure, the target. Dicchio makes his run. Here's Wise looking for him. Elliott is there, and Elliott collides with the goalie and is still down. And he took a bit of a whack to the head there, and play is continuing. They're saying they should stop it now, and in fact the goalkeeper, Sush, has come over and checked Elliott out, because you can see Elliott's in some sort of problem down there, and Jerry Doherty will come on, quick, smart.
One thing is encouraging for the second leg, just thinking about it out there, this goalkeeper has not really looked comfortable all night, has he? I mean, even that, he could have caught that ball, I think, instead of punching it, but he's not looked at all comfortable.
As played out in Germany with Kaiserslautern, and, well, he clattered into Marvin Elliott there. Problem is here, they've used all their substitutions, Bill, you know. I'm just looking at it. Morris, Harris, Moore, all off.
This kid's strong. I think he'll get up from this. He's a strong lad. He's been very brave as well. He's been throwing himself at those headers all night in the box, hasn't he?
That seems to have been his job tonight, actually. Go and get right in the middle of the goalie, because it's not the first time he's actually collided with him.
No, he's been chucking himself in the box there, and he's up. He'll carry on. He's made of strong stuff.
Well, Marvin Elliott, Wandsworth born, South London through and through. And he's put his body on the line tonight for the Millwall cause. So we're going to have a drop ball here, which Ferencvarosi will knock all the way back. Now, where's Muscat moaning there? I mean, you've got to do something with it.
I think Dennis is as well. They're saying, why didn't you just knock it back to our goalkeeper? Why have you got to be... Why have you got to knock it out sideways for a throw-on? Where you can pressurise us, keep us in there.
Well, Danny Dicchio heads on. There's a handball there, Dennis-wise. There's another one of those taps round the head, which also translates to smack. Muscat stands over the ball. Everybody forward, Bahi and Lawrence. They go short to Lawrence, and Lawrence wasn't watching, actually, and I don't think he expected that. Lawrence has just panicked there, and, well, I think that was a poor choice from Muscat, actually.
Well, he wasn't switched on, Lawrence. He should have been looking, shouldn't he? And he was just switched off there. The ball came to him, and then, as you say, he panicked because he could have just knocked it out wide to the left back, Josh Simpson.
Well, Matt Lawrence hasn't scored in 4 years. Doesn't get forward that often.
Goal's just taking the wind out of Millwall, isn't it? Just knock the wind out of their sails. You know, they were going great guns up until then, but just gone a bit quieter now.
No one likes us. They don't care.
Great support tonight. It's been terrific. I mean, the ground is what, half full? There's been terrific support.
Danny Dicchio is clattered into, and Kogan will keep the pressure on. Dicchio gets up to his feet. Kogan holds on to possession. Muscat's pass is intercepted and kept in. Kampic did pretty well there. Ward's done even better to win the header. Penksa is complaining that he took a bit of a blow to the head, but he's okay now. Simpson back to Lawrence, who just slipped. He's got a degree in American literature, Lawrence. He got into the pro game very late. Studied out in America. Here he is. Sliding challenge in is a good one, you know, by Tergier on Muscat. They look for Eiffel. Does well. Can Kogan win a corner? He's won the ball there, but he's taken the man as well. What do you think, Bill?
So we got the ball. Got round the defender.
Side, didn't go through the back.
Got the ball. No, fair enough to me. Referee thought otherwise.
He's certainly not a homer, the ref, is he? Last 5 minutes of this game. Millwall will be happy not to be behind, but they have conceded the away goal. If they can just nick one in this last 5 minutes, they'll go to Hungary full of confidence. Looking for Penksa again. It's a foul by Rossa. They certainly won't have anything to fear going into the away leg, will they, Bill? I'm sure.
No, but I think there's going to be some confrontational stuff out there, because we've seen some little flare-ups here tonight, and they're not frightened of a few little tricks, getting their foot in the Ferencvarosi side, and, you know, let's hope strong referee out there.
2 weeks tonight it is. Sits there proudly between the fixtures at Rotherham and at home to Nottingham Forest. And they're very proud of this fixture on their calendar, you know, Millwall. Here's Eiffel, was teeing up the shot, but the interception comes at a very important time for Ferencvarosi. Just wonder if the substitutions that the visitors have made here tonight have given them a little bit of extra edge in the last 5 to 10 minutes or so.
I think it's just one free kick really got them back in the game. I mean, in fairness, probably the only thing you've thought about Millwall's performances, they haven't created enough chances, clear-cut chances, but you know, they've had the bulk of the possession and really certainly deserve to be at least one up in this game, and one free kick has undone them.
Passing it around well tonight, Millwall. It's probably been the best part of their game. Here's Elliott. Been one of the best individuals. Loses out this time though. They're going to put Terzier on a bit of pressure through Muscat. There's Penksa. Penksa tries to find Rosser. Livermore gets a vital foot in just to buy a bit of time. Eifel's there with a big header. Wins the ball, keeps the ball, and still has it. Now Kogan takes over. Eifel's making a run. He finds him with the pass. Blocked away, and what a good bit of play that was by Paul Eiffel.
Well, I think that sums up Millwall's performance tonight. It's been really gutsy, terrific gutsy performance. Great effort by Paul Eiffel there.
He's class. Still only 24. In it comes, looking for Dickia. Falls to Elliott. Can he get it under?
Oh.
He can. What a save by Souche. And he's just kept his side in this game.
What a strike by Elliott. He had to take it really quickly, get his shot away because he was being closed down. Terrific half volley and a good save from the keeper. That's a good save. He saw it late and got down well to it.
Well, Marvin Elliott again. Headed out by Muscat this time. And now there's a bit of time wasting from Ferencvarosi. Terzier it is who goes down for the throw. 90 seconds plus stoppage time left in this game. Just saw Jody Morris there behind Ray Wilkins looking anxiously on. Good ball in. Here's Sarumni. Ward is pretty tight to him. Throwing goes the visitors' way.
They're just happy. They're happy with their scoreline. They'll be more than delighted to get out of here with a 1-1 draw. Just killing the clock now.
Ray Wilkins still on the edge of the technical area, watching on. Here comes the throw. It's not too long. Millwall should deal with that. They do. It's not back in though. Dickia with a touch. Finds Wise. Here's Elliott. Couldn't quite get the ball under. If it stays like this, Bill, fair reflection of the game for you? Not really?
Oh, not at all, no, certainly not. No, I think Millwall are going to be very unfortunate to end up drawing this 1-1. I mean, you couldn't say it was a mistake. I think he won the free kick, the boy, didn't he? It was a little bit of a dive for me. And good free kick, but that's all they've done, really, Ferencvarosi.
They're going to make one last throw of the dice, Ferencvarosi, if they get a chance. They want to make a substitution, but they can't at the moment. Here's Lipschi, scorer of Ferencvarosi's goal. Anxious times here for Millwall, and they hang on. Just over 11,500 our attendance tonight, 11,667. And the last substitution of the night.
Well, this can't be tactical, Andy. It's just to kill the clock a little bit more.
3 minutes added on then by our referee tonight. Millwall need to hold on. Another away goal here would be very problematic indeed. That's what we need. Bit of a wild swing.
Well, we've seen that all night from them, haven't we? When they have got near the goal, they very seldom hit the target. But that's European football for you, I'm afraid. You know, you can have the bulk of the game, which Millwall have done. They've dominated the game. You know, one little breakaway, they win a free kick on the edge of the box, and good strike. And you find yourself, you know, with a scoreline that you didn't want, 1-1. They needed to take a clean sheet out there, I think.
Off goes Zoltan Balog. Gabor Savatsky is coming on, and
they're trying everything, the Hungarians now, aren't they?
And the referee says he's watching, actually. He just pointed at his watch there, and he knows. Sly smile on the face of Ray Wilkins as well down there, and they've seen it all before.
Tezier just walked to, took 30 seconds to get up there and take a throw on just now.
Ward goes long. Eiffel heads on. Was that handball? Referee doesn't think so. There's Penkser. Ward's made a mistake here. Lawrence comes across to help out. Need to get it forward, you know. The home fans urging their side on. Dicchio climbs and wins it. Eiffel was almost in. Elliott wins the ball. Just fluffs his pass to Wise. Wise gets stuck in. Ends up getting flattened. Play continues. Simpson to Eiffel. Got to stay on side there. Finds a bit of room. Here's Eiffel now. Oh, cynically taken out Eiffel. Play continues and the referee says no free kick. Not quite sure how he came to that decision. And now he's given one against Livermore.
Well, it was a great bit of skill to get away from the defender.
That's
well, if he hasn't got blocked off there well. And the referee was right on top of it as well.
Well, I'm afraid the referee's let himself down there with a very, very big decision to make. And now they're still not taking the free kick. Well, they're using all the tricks in the book tonight, Ferencvarosi. Headed on by Tezier. Lipschi now. And there goes the full-time whistle at the new Den. Dennis Wise with a vital goal for his side. They're still very much in this tie. The equaliser coming though from Lipschi on 78 minutes. Honours even then in South East London. Still very much to play for. More coming up after this break.
Welcome back, everyone. You join us in a rapidly emptying New Den here in southeast London after the first leg of the first round UEFA Cup clash between Ferencvarosi and Millwall. 1-1, an agonising second half there. Billy Bonds joining Steve Claridge and myself here in our luxury vantage point. And what did you make of that second half? Painful?
Yeah, I mean, it's so disappointing to get yourself, you know, with a 1-0 lead, deservedly so. You know, everything looking really, really good. You know, take that. You know, you haven't conceded a away goal, which is vitally important. You know, it's a tough place to go for Ferencvarosi, and you go in there with a lead. That's pretty much all they can ask for. And then to concede like that, I mean, it's just so disappointing.
Against the run of play like that, Billy, and when they deserve so much more, Millwall. I mean, the disallowed goal quite apart.
I thought they were mugged tonight. I thought they were terrific, Millwall, tonight. I think the performance was Dennis Wise, the young boy Elliott in midfield, outstanding. They did everything right. They were patient. If anything, you thought that maybe they didn't. The front two maybe were a little bit disappointing tonight. They didn't get them into the game as much, but they did more than enough to win that game. But that's European football. You can have all the domination. All of a sudden, one free kick on the edge of the box, 1-1, and it all goes kibosh for you. And but there wasn't a lot of difference in quality tonight between the two teams.
Indeed so. It looked like Millwall had the edge, in fact. Right back at the start of the second half, already Millwall were putting the pressure on. There was one of those how did they not score moments.
Oh, it's just a little bit luck, isn't it, really? I mean, it either drops to you or it drops to them. I mean, the flick on there, and unfortunately, it just hasn't gone Millwall's way. I mean, that's pretty much the way the night's gone for them, isn't it?
No, Steve's right. I mean, sometimes that can fall on your head, centre a goal. Other times it just goes over your head.
Hales and Dicchio weren't starting tonight, and obviously a bit of experience at the front missing, but Dennis Wise certainly made his presence felt.
Dennis was fantastic tonight, as Billy said. He was eulogising about him and Elliott, and I thought they were the best two players on the park tonight. I think they'll need Dicchio in the away leg, and I think they'll need Eiffel's pace as well, because this will be a totally different game over there. It'll be almost a role reversal. Well, they'll be under an awful lot of pressure. They won't have a lot of the ball, and they'll need at times just to get the ball clear, and they'll need someone at a target, someone to hit, and they'll also need someone who will make them go the other way. I mean, to be fair, you look at the two free kicks, and neither of them should have gone in. I mean, the keeper, if the ball goes over the wall, you say, fine, fair enough, there is absolutely nothing he can do. But that's the keeper's side, and I mean, to be beaten like that, I mean, he'll have to have a little look at himself. He did rectify the situation a little bit later because he made a super save right at the death, so.
Looked like a moment of destiny, though, for Dennis Wise after a fantastic game.
Well, I thought he was tremendous. I saw him Sunday, and I thought to myself, I think your old legs are going a little bit, Dennis, because he was playing right-hand side of the diamond. But tonight he was playing in that role, sitting in front of the back four, and it's ideal for him. You know, he's got he still wins his tackles, and he can pass the ball terrific. And I thought he was outstanding.
The problem was with that goal, though, that it really stung Ferencvarosi into action, and they started to press down the other end of the field pretty soon. After winning a free kick in dubious measures, they put that away.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even gone over the wall. I said we've got a massive, great gap there. And, you know, Mr. Stack, I just think he's too far one side. If you're going to line the wall up, you've got to put 4 or 5 in there, and they've got to go over the wall. If he sticks it over the wall in the top bag, you hold your hands up and say, there is absolutely nothing I can do about that. But he doesn't go through, round, or in your side. And that on both occasions, for both free kicks, I think they could have been saved.
I think we can have a look at the disallowed goal as well. That certainly would have changed Millwall's evening. The referee calling a foul on the goal.
He catches it, and then actually, as he's coming down, I think it hits him on the head. So he's actually got 2 hands on it.
He basically gets left out of position. It's his own fault. I
don't think there was anything wrong with that at all. If anything, it was his own defenders getting in his way as he's come off the line. And I think nowadays, in the modern day game, you go near a goalkeeper, you sneeze at him.
Right.
You're going to get.
Well, of course, as England fan during Euro 2004.
Yep, you're going to get a free kick.
Listen, you mentioned the situation with Dicchio for the second leg. What are the chances of getting a bit more experience up front?
I don't think Hales will be better. I mean, with 2 broken ribs, I mean, I've had them twice before. That they are virtually impossible to play with. There's nothing you can do about that. Dicchio needs a hernia operation, so I'm told, but that's something that you can play with and you get through and you can get by on. And I think just for the one game, I think they'll need him out there.
Otherwise, plenty of other positive things. A lot of impressive performances from the young players as well.
Well, we came down here sort of thinking, well, this is going to be a really tough night for Millwall against a side that's played in Europe quite a lot. But I didn't see any difference in quality at all. As a matter of fact, I thought Millwall had the better players on view tonight. I take Steve's point, it's going to be difficult out there because they were up to little tricks out there tonight, and they'll be at home and they get away with it a little bit more. But I think if they'd have gone out there with a clean sheet, Millwall, I could have seen them upsetting them. It might be difficult now at 1-1.
We shall see in 2 weeks' time. Meantime, we're going to have a little bit more analysis in a couple of minutes' time after this break. Den, Millwall Ferencvarosi finished 1-1. Tom Lewis now has the post-match thoughts of Ray Wilkins.
Ray, that was an outstanding performance from Millwall. You couldn't have asked for more, surely.
We could possibly have asked for a bit more composure on the ball, but I'm a perfectionist. I want the lads to play in the best possible fashion. It's a great shame that we've given a goal away. We spoke all week about staying on our feet, going into challenges, and that's vitally important as far as we're concerned, especially when you're playing against European opposition. But it wasn't to be. Dave made a bit of a rash challenge and they scored from a free kick. But we know we have to go to Hungary now and we have to win a game of football. We knew we'd have to win here or win away, so it doesn't alter anything. We're up for the game, and the lads realised they should have won tonight. Territorially and the way we played, we did very well indeed. A bit more composure, and I think we'd have come away with a victory.
Now, that's a top European team out there, and Millwall matched them and bested them for most of the match. Do you reckon in 2 weeks' time you can do a job in Budapest?
It'll be totally different. The situation, the crowd will be totally different. Obviously, it'll be quite hostile against us. And the way they play will be totally different. They'll expect to have a lot more possession of the ball than they did this evening. But it's not about them, it's about us. And we've got to set our stall out to go there and win a game of football. And I think, having seen the two sides tonight, we're more than capable of doing so.
Now, you can have some personnel changes before you go to Budapest.
We wouldn't have a clue. We've got a few injuries, and we've got lads coming back from fitness problems, like Paul Ifield came on for 15 minutes at the finish. Danny Dicho's got a slight groin strain, so we don't know what the situation's going to be. But we do know whatever team that we put out will certainly give us the best as they did tonight. And if we can perform in a very similar fashion out there, then there's no reason why we shouldn't come away with a very favourable result.
This was Millwall's first night in European competition. Looking back on it, was it fun?
It was good fun. I said to the lads, you know, let's make this fun. On Sunday it's agony. We're going into the Championship again, and that's where our bread and butter is concerned. This is fun, but it's fun where we want to win, and it's only fun when you do win. So we're looking forward to a fortnight's time, but more so we're looking forward to Sunday, and hopefully we can put in a very similar performance.
My stunt double, Ray Wilkins there. What do you think? Can Millwall do the job in 2 weeks' time?
I think it will be very, very difficult. I watched Southampton last year when they played in Europe, and the home leg was totally different to the away leg.
What makes it so different?
I don't know. It's just the way that the opposing sides come and play. I mean, they do make it very much a home and away leg, and they came here, they set up to stifle Millwall, and for the majority of the time they did. Millwall won't have that sort of possession as races. It'll be a totally different scenario over there. I just think psychologically that goal, knowing that you've got to go over and score a goal, just might make the difference. I think it's a tough call to do that.
Well, this is a club that has problems scoring goals anyway.
Absolutely.
We saw that again and again tonight. And Elliott with a couple of chances during the game. Certainly possession wasn't a problem for Millwall, passing the ball around brilliantly, but just a little bit of...
Keeper does well here. Comes off his line and narrows the angle. If he'd stayed on his line, I think that ball might have gone in. There, see? He comes off his line well. I mean, I thought that's where he just redeemed himself from the free kick.
Billy, you are more optimistic than Steve for the second leg?
I think what this game will give them is a belief and a bit of confidence, because I think they came into this game thinking, you know, we've got a real tough guy. I debate whether this is a top European side. I don't think they are. You know, the reporter there. And I think this will give them a bit of belief to go out there and think, well, hold on, we were as good as these tonight. And, you know, if they can maybe get 1 or 2 back, I feel will certainly probably be fair. And if they can maybe just get Danny Dicho just to hold on, I think he is going to have an operation, isn't he?
Right.
That's growing, but I think they can go out there with a lot of confidence.
I wholeheartedly agree with Billy. I think they played Man United, and I think they had to get that out their system tonight. How good these were, I think they go over there with a chance.
Excellent. Well, we shall see in 2 weeks' time. It'll be Ferencvarosi against Millwall. A couple of other results I should give you. Hearts 3-1 winners tonight. Newcastle 2-0. A couple of later scores. Middlesbrough 3-0 up. Rangers 1-0 down. Those from the other UEFA Cup games tonight. That's it from the New Den. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bittersweet evening for Millwall on their first night in Europe, but a great performance nonetheless. Good night.
Millwall's adventure in Europe continues tonight as the Lions travel to Budapest for their second leg, first round UEFA Cup tie against Hungarian double winners Ferencvarosi. Welcome to the Ulloy Stadium as Dennis Wise's men look to progress at the expense of Ferencvarosi, who equalised just 11 minutes from time at the New Den to secure a 1-1 draw in London, and that crucial away goal after Millwall's player-manager had given the home side the lead. Steve Claridge alongside me in the commentary box. Steve, that was a body blow coming so late on in the game in the original time.
Absolutely. They'd gone on, what was it, about 75, 76 minutes. They've been totally dominant, had 2 or 3 super opportunities. They get themselves in front after the hour's just gone, and you think, right, if we can nick another one here, we really are in the box seat. And you know, a 2-0 advantage to go over there, that's would have been a very, very good result. However, 11 minutes later, the complexion totally changes on the game, because you know, they score. Obviously Millwall then have got to go for Ferencvarosi and get, not only have they got to get a goal, but you know, it still might not be enough if I think if Ferencvarosi play as well as they might do, and it's a tough call for Millwall, it really is at this stage.
Lots of positives though out of that first leg, and they proved that they could play in Europe against a side such as Ferencvarosi, and if it wasn't for that late goal, maybe their attitude would be different tonight. Now they've got to be positive, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, in a way, it's probably, I think possibly a 0-0 would have suited them more, but I mean, it's just psychological factors. They haven't scored a lot of goals this year, Millwall, in domestic football, and I'm not quite sure how much belief they're going to have that they can actually go over there and get a goal. Obviously, that's the way that they've got to think now. They've got a set play now. This is what we must do. We must go and get a goal. It's no good. We can't sit back. So at least the plan is there for them. Hopefully they can implement it.
Well, let's hope so. It is Millwall's first away tie, and of course the riches, and I think we can say that now, the group stages of the UEFA Cup awaits, because it is slightly different this year. It's the first time that the UEFA Cup will go into group stages, so if you get through this particular match, then there's a bit of cash to be made, isn't
Four
there?
games, isn't there? 2 at home and 2 away. I mean, it's a fantastic opportunity, as you say, to not only to earn a lot of money, but I mean to really experience the the dream of Europe.
Let's take a look at the Ferencvarosi lineup. They make 2 changes to the side that drew a fortnight ago. Adam Kapic is out suspended, while Alexander Bijeski drops to the bench. Janos Zorvath and Marek Penska come in for the home side. As for Millwall, they are without Danny Dicchio, as we know, so Paul Eiffel starts in the only change for the Lions from that first leg. There's European experience, of course, in the form of Dennis Wise and Jody Morris, and really Ray Wilkins from the bench will look to Wise and Morris to try and settle the ship early on. It's a vociferous crowd. The stadium holds some 18,000. There's not too many empty seats, and it will be up to the likes of Wise and Morris, hopefully just to calm things down in the opening 10-15 minutes.
I think they'll look to Dennis, obviously. I mean, he was the shining light in the first leg. He was the one that led by example, and he'll certainly have to do that again. I think Muscat's got a fair amount of experience as well. He's played for Rangers, and there's 1 or 2 that have been there, seen it, and done it. So I think all that will be a good experience. I don't think it's one that will frighten anyone.
We're just about to get underway. Our referee is a Dutchman, Eric Bramhar. He's not got too much European experience. He's just 37 years old. He did take charge of Blackburn's match against Gensler Beligi last season, when Blackburn drew 1-1 at home to eventually go out to the Turkish side. But on a better point, he did take charge of Newcastle's match against Vålerenga last March, and Newcastle, of course, went through and all the way through to the latter stages of the competition. Let's hope that Millwall can at least get into the group stage. Just confirmation of the team lineup as well. Obviously, we've been talking about the midfielders, Steve, the likes of Wise and also Jody Morris, but Millwall have got to score, and who's it going to come down to? Neil Harris, perhaps? Paul Eiffel coming in?
Well, Paul Eiffel's got exceptional pace, and on his day, he can be a match winner. I think what's also interesting is how Ferencvarosi going to approach this game. At the end of the day, this result suits them, they go through. And it could just be a case that if they sit back, they might get themselves caught cold at some stage. So it's certainly, I mean, it's poised very, very nicely. And I think it's one of them that Millwall have got to be positive. I just wonder what how Ferencvarosi will approach the game.
Difficult, isn't it, really, because you don't really defend a 1-1 draw, do you, really?
No.
You can't really go forward too much because that'll take you through.
Exactly. I mean, they're not going to want to give too much away, but as you say, being at home, I think they've certainly got being more ambitious than they were at Millwall. I mean, that clearly wasn't enough. I watched Southampton last year against Stoya, and the 2 games were like chalk and cheese. The home game at Southampton, they dominated, and should have gone comfortably ahead. They went to Stoya, and it was a totally different game. And I've got to say, I mean, that's half what I'm a little bit afraid of tonight, is that Ferencvarosi will be a totally different side, because they were certainly second best in the first leg.
We're just about to get underway, and it will be Neil Harris to get the match started. Millwall all in blue against the home side playing all in white, and Millwall attacking the goal away to our left, and straight away we can hear the crowd getting behind their side. And in European matches, it's the first thing you've got to do as the away side, just try and silence the hordes. Yeah,
absolutely. I think there's something else that's vitally important for them today, is the referee. He was absolutely fantastic in the first leg. I mean, do we have to?
We don't keep the same referee.
We don't. Okay. Well, he was fantastic the first leg. Hopefully this one will be the same, because he controlled the game well. He didn't stand for any nonsense, and certainly this one's got to be strong tonight.
Well, he's given Millwall a free kick in the opening few seconds of the match, and the ball is drilled into that penalty area. Plenty of blue shirts forward, and just stealing in on the left-hand side was Paul Eiffel. Quarter chance, just seemed to lose his footing, tries to get it under the ball, but excellent delivery.
I mean, that's where you can't help but think Danny Dicchio. Anything like that. I mean, that you can just see Danny Dicchio. I mean, he's going to absolutely would have loved a ball like that coming in now. I mean, nobody has attacked the ball, and I mean, a perfect example of why they miss, someone of his stature.
Paul Eiffel, who scored in his last 2 games for Millwall, on the target against Rotherham and also Derby recently, and Millwall have started brightly. They do need to score, remember. 1-1 would be enough to send it through to extra time, and then perhaps penalties. What an introduction that would be to European football for Millwall. I thought working hard, and I guess he was the obvious replacement for Danny Dichio. Barry Hale's obviously injured as well, Steve.
Yep. I can't help thinking they look just a tad nervous there. I mean, they looked a little bit negative there. They get the ball in the final third and it goes back and it finds its way back to the keeper. Didn't look too confident with his ball out. The defender gets caught on the ball. I mean, that's encouraging signs for Millwall.
Long high ball from the keeper, and the Dutch referee once again has signalled in Millwall's favour. Zorfa this time was the culprit, and Millwall have a free kick, just leading with the arm.
Yes, which one? You take your pick there, can't you?
Again, the high-hanging ball inside the penalty area. Shot is charged down, just failing to pull the trigger as Millwall try to come forward once more. Paddy Lawrence with the long ball for that season for the keeper.
They'll hold a line, they'll hold a high line actually, and any run that they make, it's got to be made sure that the run is bent, so it can you stay on side, because they do hold a very high line. There's a little possibility there, by the way, wasn't there?
It was, it didn't seem to be the wrong ball.
It did, didn't it? He was a little bit lucky that the ricochet went straight to another, fellow teammate.
Well, Harris is battling away at the back, and Gabor Gyepes sticking to his task well. As Ferencvarosi come away with possession. Again, Millwall getting plenty of bodies inside that Ferencvarosi half. It's here on this left-hand side now as Daniel Tozer comes forward. The white shirts coming forward in numbers, but Millwall getting players back. A shot fired in from distance. It's easy for Graham Stack.
That's an ideal example of where you've got to defend from the front. I mean, Neil Harris has got to do better in the corner there, and he's got it out far too easily. And as we've seen, they've finished up getting a shot at the other end. And, in a game like this, when you get the opportunity, you've got to defend from the front, and you've got to work hard and stop them getting out, because they will get space and they will take advantage.
Tozer, just 19 years old. He's only scored 1 goal in his career, and that was just a few weeks ago. As Millwall look to break down this left-hand side, and once again, Ferencvarosi have to come across, just a shove off the ball there, and Millwall have been penalised. Josh Simpson just using the arm.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Josh Simpson, I look at Adrian Siriu, and I think what a fantastic trip to Vancouver it was for them, because they nicked those two from somewhere, I don't know where. I know Wisey was struggling to get players in at the start of the season. All of a sudden they go to Vancouver and come back with 2 excellent potentially super players in this division, and they've both found their feet very quickly. So I think Millwall in a way have got lucky.
Millwall certainly starting the game at a good tempo.
It's how they've got to go on, really, isn't it? I mean, they can't sit back, as you say. And I mean, if they can press and squeeze, what they've got to do is do that as high up the pitch as they can. And if they do nick something, who knows? What they have got to do is be far more clinical this game.
Balog it is with the ball down the line, chasing hard is Marek Penska, just can't keep the ball in play. Penska, who missed the first leg, but much travel Slovakian striker is back in the starting lineup.
It was Mickey Thomas. Gonna say, that's where he's gone. Wonder where he'd been.
No goals, we've had 5 minutes.
They'll be happy with the start, won't they?
I think so. But from a Millwall point of view, they've had the better of the opening 5 minutes. And as you pointed out just before kick-off, Ferencvarosi seemed uncertain as to how to go about the game. But they're piling forwards here now, and options left and right. There's a chance here, and Graham Stout with an excellent save.
There'll be a book in here as well, I can promise you that, for Darren Ward. He just caught him late. I mean, it was... whether Ward hasn't made his way back in time, I don't know, but it's almost too easy. Yeah, you can see Ward still trying to make his way back, and they certainly taken advantage, and he should really have scored from there.
Ferencvarosi with the shot, and Graham Stack equal to it.
Good save.
Ferencvarosi have a corner, fantastic save from Stacky as the ball comes into the near post, but unfortunately for Ferencvarosi, they're unable to convert the corner kick.
I think there must have been a few that have been on the sauce, I think, earlier on, because that header actually got a bit of a ooh, and I don't know what angle they were at, but that was absolutely miles away from the target.
you surprised to see Graham Stack get the nod as the #1 keeper for Millwall this season ahead of Andy Marshall?
No, I mean, I know they rate him very highly, and he's done absolutely nothing wrong. So I think that that was an example of why Dennis has stuck him in there, because it was a super one-on-one save.
He's playing the Premiership for Arsenal. He did play in the Carling Cup run last season.
No disgrace, though, is it?
There's plenty ahead of him.
I was going to say, I mean, we're not talking about a normal team here, are we, by the way? It's no disgrace you don't get in their first team at tender age.
So we know that Arsene Wenger rates him highly, and will be keeping progress on Graham Stack throughout Millwall's campaign, ever present so far for the Lions.
I think you've just touched on it there. That I mean, if he didn't rate him, he'd have looked to have got rid of him. I mean, it's only, you know, a lot of these clubs now will do this. They'll get players out on loan to give them some experience. But as you say, he obviously rates him because they've not allowed him to sign for Millwall.
Varney coming forward and the ball again. Defence splitting, but the flag was up on this near side. It was Marek Penska again. We'll just have to be wary of the ball through. It was close.
It was close, and I think they're probably a little bit lucky to get it, but it was overhit. So he doesn't look like he's going to come short for the ball, does he? I mean, he plays very much off the shoulder. He'll get a line in between the two centre halves, and you know, they're difficult to pick up. They're not your normal centre half that they would normally play against, because they would normally be coming towards the ball. One would hold it up almost as a partnership, but as you can see, when they break very quickly, and you know, sometimes it's just a solitary figure up there.
Well, Harris, meanwhile, has been fouled, and Millwall will have an opportunity from this free kick. Lajos Zux will organise his wall as the free kick is about to be taken, and who else but Dennis Wise is standing over this.
But I've just seen him score the two worst free kicks I think I've ever seen in my life.
Wise rolls it to the right-hand side. The shot is fired in by Paul Eichel, but it's charged down. Surprise-wise, he didn't take it himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously in good form. I don't think he could kick it that far going by the other two free kicks he's taken. But the pass was too far, wasn't it? I mean, it must have been 8 to 10 yards, allowing the defender to close him down. It's one of my pet hates, I've got to say, that Wolves just do not get back 10 yards anymore. There doesn't seem to be any advantage from a free kick at all now.
Millwall have got some defending to do meanwhile. And Matty Longs does it, helped out by player manager Dennis Wise, who's urging the ball to go forward and long, and it does, towards Neil Harris. Easily defended though by Ferencvarosi. We've had just over 9 minutes here in Budapest as Harris goes again, but the big centre half Gabor Gyepes comes across and deals with it well enough. But the first touch just letting down one or two Ferencvarosi players there. Janas Sorvath was caught in possession. It's a Millwall throw.
No real fluency to their game yet, is there, Ferencvarosi? So everything's a little bit untidy, a little bit short, and they're just putting each other in trouble and allowing Millwall to close them down. And if they can keep that sort of pressure on, they're going to nick something here, maybe get themselves a chance.
Lipshai, the scorer of that free kick at the New Den a fortnight ago, just tries to play the ball over to the left-hand side. He was very much the danger man. Here is Kevin Muscat, who Steve was mentioning. He's been around the block a few times with Rangers and Wolves, and integral part of the Millwall setup these days.
Keep drawing those fouls like that. I mean, the Dutch referee has already said it's stalled out. He's not going to take any rubbish, and they'll be okay with this start. I mean, what they haven't got to do is leave themselves too open at the back. Once or twice we've seen how quickly they attack.
Free kick to Millwall. Launched inside that penalty area. The keeper's come a long way and he's missed it. There's a chance for Millwall here, and somehow the ball didn't go into the back of the net, although the whistle had gone anyway. I thought with the opportunity.
Had it gone? I wasn't sure whether it had gone or not, but that's the problem. When you're away from home and the crowd's not with you, I don't see too much wrong with that, did you? The whistle had gone. I mean, it's a fantastic chance. Nobody's got their eye on the keeper. They're all going for the ball.
Keeper comes. It was awkward for Eichel, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, it's one of those where when you're in the box like that, I mean, all good centre forwards appreciate how much time they've got. And I think at that time, you know, just then, I think he should have realised maybe he's got a little bit more time than he thought.
Well, we initially thought the whistle had gone, but it hadn't. He did certainly rush back into the penalty area expecting a free kick, but it wasn't given. That'll going down as a chance for Millwall. Ferencvarosi have a free kick, which Dragan Vukmir will take. Thrown, in fact, on this near side as the Hungarian champions look to make progress, but they haven't looked completely at home and at ease against Millwall so far.
It's a very open game, isn't it? You know, when you consider what's on it. I mean, we've seen 2 or 3 super opportunities already for either side, and it certainly doesn't look like it's going to be one of them 0-0 stalemates, which is good.
This Balog tries to get to the byline for Ferencvarosi and wins his side a throw in down by the corner flag, and Millwall have got some defending to do now.
The only thing you wonder about Millwall is how strong their squad is, and you know what they can do if they do go a goal down to change it.
Just a flick on, but Millwall managed to clear. Eiffel can complete the job, although it goes out once again, this time for a throw.
All hands on deck so far, haven't it? Everyone's got to do their bit.
Again, the throw to the near post, still not away as Millwall look to clear their lines. They should have an opportunity now. Blue shirts streaming out. Simpson's touch might get a second opportunity. Eiffel coming forward, neat skills and good balance from Paul Eiffel. Just runs into too many white shirts, but Millwall have it once again. Eiffel goes again. Well read by Gabor Gepes at the back for Ferencvarosi, close to getting Eiffel in.
It's once or twice for either side. There's been, you know, just the weight of the pass or just the timing of the pass hasn't been quite right, and it's but the opportunity there has been there to get the player in, which is encouraging.
Graham Stack clears. Eiffel's header fouled by Eiffel, and Zoltan Balogic's gone down.
Of supporters wouldn't keep shouting suddenly. It sort of like shocks me on occasions. You never quite know, then all of a sudden it's a loud shout.
Millwall have got some defending to do once more. Free kick given against them. Paul Eiffel just jumping into the back of Zoltan Balog. Penska just lets it go. Still Ferencvarosi coming forward.
Good understanding there, by the way. I mean, must have been an overs or a jacks or something to leave that, and it's only good defending by Warley that saw that one out.
And with the header towards the Millwall goal, just a mistake by Simpson. Loses possession here to Penska.
It's a strange one. I've got to say, I thought he gave it the other way, but Simpson's been caught in the ball. Quite sure what he saw.
The feeling that Ferencvarosi maybe have just upped the tempo and Millwall sitting back.
Yeah, I think they're just sort of like finding their feet, aren't they? Because it was a nervy start, strangely enough, from them.
Toja will swing this ball in left-footed. Eventually it comes in, it does beat the first man, but not the second, and Harris can complete the clearance towards Eiffel, and Millwall can come forward. They need some support though. Eiffel evades one challenge, still surrounded by white shirts.
That's going to be their only problem, is getting support up to Eiffel when, you know, he goes on one of those runs. He's very, very quick, and you've just got to, you know, people have got to make their way forward and get support up to him, because he's going to find himself so isolated. You know, all that good work is going to come to nothing, because he's just going to have to stop and turn out like he did just then.
Wise with the ball forward towards Harris. He should be able to pick up the loose ball and then loses out. Here is Butish. In particular, Penska is on the run once more. It should be easy for Matty Rollins back towards Graham Stack. Contingent away to our right.
Got to keep picking up that second ball every time the ball goes forward. If Eiffel or Harris can't get on the end of it, one of the midfielders has got to get that second ball.
Wagner plays the ball in. Cleared by Muscat. Just a mistake by Gepes, and Harris looks to steal upon it. Now Rosa can come forward for Ferencvarosi away on that far side, and Marvin Elliott's been penalised here.
What would you say in the sphere of things? I mean, they're certainly not a top European side, are they, Ferencvarosi?
Well, they were beaten by Sparta Prague as they come forward here with an opportunity. And Graham Stack is furious once more with his defenders. Has been saved by the corners of the finish.
Do you know what? It was that poor. Actually, got a terrific reflection off the wall there. It was a super pass. It's a lovely first touch. It just hits, to be fair to him, it does hit, just hits a bobble there, but they're very incisive, their passing. I mean, that's one thing that foreign boys do very well, is they do find little gaps and little holes, and they do pull off his shoulder, and that's not something that, as I say, we're used to as English teams and English defenders.
Yannis Sorvath with the shots to score so far this season, the Ferencvarosi midfielder.
Very much a contrast to styles, isn't it? You know, they tend to play. They're certainly not rigid, Ferencvarosi. They tend to pick up the nearest man and play very much an off-the-cuff sort of game. Whereas Millwall are strict 4-4-2. You know, everybody knows their job.
Certainly something that Millwall won't come up against every week in the Championship, I take it.
No, absolutely not. But it's all good experience.
Has this been a welcome distraction for Millwall, the European games?
Yeah, I mean they've done fine in the league anyway. I mean, it's easy to get carried away with exactly where Millwall should be in the Championship. You know, they're not one of the bigger clubs, and at times they have overachieved in recent years. So this is just a fabulous experience for everyone.
It may continue. It's 0-0 on the night. Ferencvarosi, of course, would go through on the away goals rule if it stayed as it is. They have been beaten by English opposition on a number of occasions. Last time round, back in the 96-97 UEFA Cup, they were beaten by Newcastle United in aggregate, although they did win the home leg 3-2, beaten 4-0 at St James's Park. They have got some European pedigree, certainly got some European history. They managed to win the Fairs Cup in the 60s, beating Juventus, and twice have been beaten in the final. Although Hungarian football, I think it's fair to say, is the sort of force that it used to be.
No, certainly not. What did you say previous? Did you say these were double winners or something?
They won the Hungarian Championship and the Cup last season. It was the 27th time that they won the title.
So that gives you some indication of how strong Hungarian football is. I mean, you can imagine these up against a Manchester United or Arsenal. I don't think they'd win our league, to put it that way.
Knocked out by Sparta Prague in the qualifying rounds to the Champions League, and Sparta Prague aren't really covering themselves in glory in the Champions League this season, it has to be said. They did win the home leg 1-0, but went down 2-0 in the Czech Republic.
It's a totally different kettle of fish in the Champions League. I mean, that's just a whole new ballgame compared to this.
Here's the UEFA Cup, of course, tonight, but there will be group stages after this initial first round.
Are there some teams that have already pre-qualified for UEFA second, the round? Is that the Champions League boys, or
there will be teams that drop out of the Champions League that come through later?
Right. After the group stage, after the next group stage, they'll come in.
They will be group stages, and then after that, when the Champions League groups finish, as we see an altercation here, and Dennis Rosser has got himself in a bit of trouble here, and the referee wants a word with him, and the Ferencvarosi players are furious here.
I don't think the Millwall ones are too happy. I think it was just the manner in which he's made the tackle more than anything. I'm not quite sure. Knowing Ives, I'm not quite sure how injured he is, but I just think it's the studs up, sort of the manner in which the tackle. He's obviously all right, Ives. I thought he might be so, but I think it's more the manner of the tackle. If we watch, he goes in with his studs up there. She goes over the ball, so he's got every reason to go down. I think Ives can actually consider himself a little bit lucky there, because it's certainly a poor enough tackle.
The rifle trots off. He'll come back on again, no doubt, in just a second. We've had 20 minutes here in Budapest. It's 0-0. And Millwall have a free kick.
This is where you want Dickio, isn't it? Just somebody who's 6'3", stick the ball in there. And I mean, he's almost impossible to mark. And certainly for the foreign lads, they certainly don't want the like of him around.
Dennis Wise will take. Plenty of blue shirts to aim at inside that penalty area. The arguments continue. Although making a nuisance of himself. Now what can Dennis Wise produce from this free kick? Towards the back post, but it doesn't beat Giepesh, who clears. Millwall suddenly going to get a second opportunity to get the ball inside the penalty area. Flight stays down as Harris is away on the right hand side, and Tozer makes the clearance for a throw to Millwall.
Looks like the one to miss out, Gepesh, shouldn't he? It would be handy if you could have someone like Wardy or something like that, just taking him away out of that area, because he does look the dominant centre-half out of the three.
I make the point that Millwall defenders won't have come up against the way that Ferencvarosi play, and against vice versa, it applies the other way round as well, doesn't it? The way that Neil Harrison and co go about the business at the front.
Yeah, although having said that, I mean, they've not been in great form, the Millwall forward, so yeah, they don't come off the back of great scoring runs, and it's probably been the one little thing that's probably disappointed Dennis more than anything, is that they haven't scored enough goals this year, and that you're always a problem for a manager when that's the case.
He's yet to score, in fact, in the Championship for Millwall this season. Maybe the breaks on once again here as Ferencvarosi can come forward. Penska is moving forward inside the penalty area. The ball is flighted over, and Graham Stack just seemed to miss the flag of the ball for a second. I'm not sure if he got something on it. It's gone behind anyway, I think, for a corner, no, a goal kick.
I think it's one of those where if you're not sure, you've got to try and deal with it. I mean, it's overhit. He knows it's overhit. He's not aware of what's behind him, Stack. Not sure what's coming in, so he's got to try and deal with it. And as it was, you know, he's fortune favours the brave.
He is a keeper that likes to come for most things, isn't he, Graham Stack? Arsene Wenger certainly instills that into all his keepers. I think he'd rather know that the keeper's going to come in as a defender. I guess that's good for them as well.
100%. 100%. You go back right to the likes of Grobbelaar, don't you? Where, you know, he calls. Once or twice he doesn't get it.
Chance here for Ferencvarosi. The offside flag was up. There was Penska went through.
You don't mind if 98 times out of 100 he comes and relieves the pressure. I mean, people will take that. They've just had the rub of the green a little bit here, Mill, haven't they, with the offside decisions? Because that again, you could make a case for him being onside. You know, when you consider that rule's gone out the window about being level now, hasn't it? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Not as a forward, I'm a bit disappointed about it, but not on that occasion.
We'll get the rub of the green again. This time it's Jody Morris that's been felled by Zorfath. He's not happy. And the two of the Ferencvarosi players here just losing the rag a little bit with the referee. Morris using his body well, I think we can say that.
Yeah, I think once or twice they have got a point. I mean, Neil Harris went down a little bit easy. Maybe Jody went down a bit easy, but yeah, they've got to try and make more of these free kicks now.
Well, I think Dennis Wise is going to float this one into the box once again. Darren Ward has gone forward. Dennis Wise curls one inside the penalty area, but that's easily dealt with. Maybe a second chance for the former Chelsea man. Still Millwall coming forward, but the flag was up as Ferencvarosi players came out of the penalty area.
No real angle on that, was there, on that free kick? And I think they've got to open themselves up maybe a little bit more and just...
Dennis Wise with it. Useful looking ball in towards poor Eiffel. Tojilo can come away with possession for Ferencvarosi. Penska making a move on the left-hand side. Matty Lawrence goes with the Slovakian. Ball inside the penalty area, falls at the feet of Dennis Wise. And Graham Stack can clear.
Going to take a lot of hard work from Millwall to stay in this game. And I don't mean, you know, that they're going to get run ragged and that, you know, Ferencvarosi are going to dominate them. But what they will do is there'll be times when they do break very quickly, and people have got to get back double smart. And that, you know, that takes a lot of effort. We've already seen 1 or 2 60-yard runs they've had to make just to get goal side again.
Plenty of white shirts forward in this attack, but Millwall have got players behind the ball. Ones go aloft, but Ferencvarosi managed to stay on side. It's a good-looking ball inside as well. It's a goal for Ferencvarosi. They've scored after 25 minutes, and it's Dennis Rocha that has put the home side ahead.
He's the one player, I've got to say, who looked more than capable, shall we say, held his own in the first leg. It's a super run. I'd like to see whether or not, you know, how he stayed on side there, but no one's gone with him. And to be fair, he's got the angle on the ball. He's just got to get a touch on it, hasn't he?
The ball in, no one going with Rocha. Simple header, really.
A simple header, but I mean one that well, Matty Lawrence has gone back in, hasn't he? That's what the problem is. I think Matty Lawrence has either got to go and stay or hold the line, and he's gone in. And I think then, if you're going to go in, Matty Lawrence has got to pick someone up. You can't just defend that deep. And we say it's an easy header, but you know, we see plenty of those ones.
Doesn't really change anything.
Not really.
Here is Harris, might make something of this. It's Harris, and an excellent save by Jux. Harris with a thunderbolt of a shot.
I think he just missed the opportunity there. I mean, it took a while to come down for him. And in the end, he's made a good reaction save there.
Done nicely for Harris. He hit it with some venom.
Yeah, would have gone a long way to starting his season off, I think, if he managed to put that one away.
That's what we were just about to say, though, Steve. It doesn't really change that much because Millwall to score anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem being is that they're one goal away really from sealing the game, aren't they, Ferencvarosi? So, yeah, it just puts them closer to where they want to be, which is a second goal. But, as you say, having said that, the complexion doesn't really change. If Millwall will get that goal and put the goal, they're certainly back in the team. It's not a bad finish when you say it. You know, I say it looks uneasy. You've got the angle on the ball, you've got the place on the ball from the cross. You've still got to make the contact, and it was a pretty good contact. I said that.
Millwall plays the ball back to Graham Stack, who had no chance whatsoever with the header. Feels knocked back once again towards Livermore as Simpson gets the touch. And John Morris has been taken down by Dennis Wise, has, and two Chelsea players to work it out with the Millwall. As Arthur joins in, Ferencvarosi with men behind the ball.
What they can't afford to do is give the ball away too cheaply in Millwall, because obviously, you know, as I say, they're going to have to retain a certain element of possession simply because he's just going to work so hard on the night to get it back. I have to hark back again to say, when they got, as I said earlier on, I'm not quite sure how much they've got left to change the game. You know, Stephen Moore's injured, Barry Howe's injured. I'm not sure Mark McCammon's the answer. So, you know, it's a tough one. I think this team was the one that loved to see it through and maybe get that all-important goal.
McCammon is on the bench. He's had a tough time with injury since coming to Millwall. To be fair, never really been able to get a good run in the side, has he?
No, I mean, I know that it's you know, it's I know they're thinking at the club that it's debatable whether or not, you know, he's going to be good enough for this level. You know, that remains to be seen. But you know, on the evidence that I've seen anyway, you know, I think he's certainly got to do a lot more if he wants to get a regular place.
No need for changes as yet, though. Still plenty left in this second leg. Ferencvarosi, though, do lead by a goal to nil. Rocha's goal in 26 minutes means that the Hungarian champions lead by 2-1 on aggregate. Dennis Wise tries to orchestrate things in midfield. Scats touch. Anti-Lawrence can go wrong. The likes of Morris, it's straight through, but the goal scorer Rosa knocks it back, and all of a sudden Ferencvarosi
That's the fillip that they need, isn't it? You know, I mean, all the time it was 0-0, they were always susceptible to that breakaway. As it stands, I mean, it's you know, sometimes it can have the opposite effect. Sometimes you can get it that they'll sit back and just defend, but it looks like they've taken a great deal of confidence from that goal.
Will come forward. Livermore tries to get Harris away, but it's well read, and Dragon Brookney can come away with possession for Ferencvarosi. Shirts piling forward, the sliding challenge just about enough from Warden. Millwall can clear. Still Ferencvarosi though looking to probe away with this goal advantage now. Pinska and Rosa. The ball around between them. Here is the goal scorer. Rosa gets half a yard on Livermore. Simpson should be able to clear. Just slips when tries to clear it. Ferencvarosi have possession once more through Zorvac and Rosa and Penska. Still looking to work it out now.
Yeah, get a little tight.
Goes down, Morris is penalised and it's a free kick.
I don't think they're going to resist the opportunity to go down, do you? You don't see that sort of team.
Very much the danger man. 6 goals, 4 goals and 6 appearances in the Hungarian top flight so far this season.
He's looked all right actually.
Left footed. Go for goal, he's straight at the wall. It's good for There's a chance here, and it's 2. Well,
given it. He's given it. He's given the goal.
Well, his glances across to the assistant referees who signal to the referee, who then signal to the centre spot, and it's 2-0 now. Ferencvarosi.
I'm interested to see if this has gone in, but you know, you've got to say now that I think it will be extremely difficult now for me. I did tell Dennis he should have signed me for this game.
Ferencvarosi 2, Millwall 0 on the night.
It's a great ball in, isn't it?
Excellent header. It doesn't land behind the line, it does.
It's a good spot actually, wasn't it? Yeah, good spot. It's a fantastic header. Fantastic header.
Zoran Bocic's goal means
Good
that
spot,
Millwall
wasn't it?
now have to score twice.
You have to wonder. I mean, as I say, that's been the one aspect of their game that has been left wanting. It was a tall order to get one. It's almost a you hate to say it, but it's almost an impossibility. So, as much as we'd like that to happen, this is a great ball in. I mean, he's played well so far. Good header.
I think Graham Stack, the way that he just turned around and caught the ball, knew straight away. One or two of the other Millwall players maybe had a second thought about it, but the assistant down below has signalled to the referee just a few seconds after the ball had crossed. And television replays, we believe, show the ball as crossing the line. So it's an uphill task now for Millwall. The supporters away to our right, fairly motionless. It's a long trip to Budapest, and as it stands, Millwall will be heading out of the UEFA Cup, and there'll be no more European sources for the Lions faithful.
You always thought it was going to be a, you know, I mean, I said previous to the game, it's going to be a tough call to come out here with a 1-1. You know, A, you've got to score, and B, you know, with no distinct advantage. And I'm not sure they deserve a 2-0, but they've certainly been the better side so far.
Lawrence just nicks the ball away from Peksa. And now Dennis Wise has possession for Millwall inside that centre circle. He's looking for a bit of movement. And he's found it, and Muscat making himself available. Can he get the ball across to the penalty area? It's easily cleared by the goal scorer, Bocic.
You do feel like, I mean, that's made such a difference to the game, hasn't it? I mean, it almost you could see that, you know, their chest deflating after that, the Millwall boys, because, you know, as you say, at 1-0 it doesn't make a great deal of difference, but I don't know how much self-belief there is now in the side that they can get 2 goals. You know, it's a tough call.
Marvin Elliott involved again, and this is all a little bit unnecessary as Zorfa gets involved, and Neil Harris and Vukmir as well, and it's just getting a little bit unnecessary.
Silly, isn't it?
Eiffel also involved in the fracas.
Just silly things. I don't know really what Neil Harris is getting involved in there. It just seems a little bit silly.
Well, the referee is reaching for his top pocket here.
Careful here, aren't they? Because, you know, sometimes they see things that, you know, they shouldn't do, and it's crazy.
Well, it's a yellow card for Harris. It's a yellow card for Vukmir. Harris is trying to offer his hand, but Vukmir getting the yellow card doesn't want to know.
I don't really know why they're getting involved. I mean, they're 2-0 up. It just seems a silly thing to do.
3 yellow cards we've had in the match. There's Vincent again, and I'm not sure what on earth Vukmir is doing.
What he's actually done is he's seen Neil Harris grabbing the other bloke round the neck, and that's what he's saying. That's what's happened. Neil Harris comes in here, see, on his ear. That's why he's saying, that's what he's got the problem with. You must have learnt that from Dennis, I think.
Millwall have got problems on the pitch, in the game itself, rather than just the discipline, because they're 2-0 down here and they need something special.
Just the stuffing being knocked out of them a little bit. I mean, even, you know, you get that even from where we are. It just seemed like a little bit of the life's gone.
10 minutes to go until half-time. Goals from Russia and Bocic. Difference on the night, 3-1 on aggregate now. Threatened to spill over on the odd occasion in the first leg. Let's hope that it...
Yeah, that's where the ref's got to be strong, isn't it? You know, I mean, it's always, when you've got a clash of styles, then there's always that chance that it might happen. But you know, he's done well again, the ref tonight, so there's no real problems.
But it's his header. It is Dennis Wise, ever willing to pick up the loose ball. He's just been taken out. Play continues for a second. And eventually he's given it Ferencvaros's way.
Yeah, don't worry, whatever I say, the opposite happens. I mean, that's an awful decision. I mean, he's actually there first, Dennis. And he's just been caught. You see, he's a little bit frustrated there.
Muscat with a challenge. Elliott tries to come away with possession. Rocha has got a touch. Eventually it's centred towards Neil Harris, who's got a little bit of space there, and the ball comes over to this near side as Millwall look to get a move going. But by that opening 8-9 minutes, when Millwall look to threaten, they've been on the back foot, and you can't really argue with a scoreline as Penska tries to make progress on the right, but Simpson stands in his way.
Yeah, they haven't really looked like they were going to get a goal tonight, were they? And I think that's where they possibly might have taken, you know, a little bit of encouragement. I mean, we've had the one opportunity from Neil Harris, one or two sloppy passes from the Hungarians, but they haven't at any stage really opened them up. And it was one of those where you were frightened it might turn out like this, and you know, unfortunately that's been the case so far.
Balog will take the throw in for Ferencvaros. The UEFA official just picking the ball up and trying to urge Ferencvaros to get on with things. Laszlo, the Ferencvaros coach, who's taken his side to the top of the Hungarian First Division. They're unbeaten at home, 3 from 3 in the top flight, and riding high in the domestic division.
Would have been interesting to see if how they would have reacted if Millwall had scored it certainly earlier in the game, because they did up their game after Millwall scored, but you know, without really creating a great deal. And you know, I think on the evidence of tonight, Millwall deserved to go there with a bit of an advantage. You know, and I think that's really where possibly, if they're going to go out, that's possibly where the time might have been lost.
Eiffel with the nudge back towards Muscat, the skipper coming forward. Blue shirts appear on the left and the right. Eventually the ball comes in, decent cross in, but no one had really dived towards that near post. It bounces a couple of times before it gets to the keeper.
Yeah, I've got to say, if you were crossing it and I was on the end of that, I don't think I'd be too happy with it. So I think you've been a little bit fair to Marvin Elliott. I think it's far too close to the keeper. And that's the one thing they've got to do better. Is there's been one or two chances when the ball's gone into the box. That hasn't quite had the quality to really stretch the Hungarians.
Eiffel slides in. Eventually Ferencvaros get the ball on the deck and cheers as Wagner comes forward over on this right-hand side, and there's plenty of white shirts as options as again they go down the right, and Butner here with the ball in field towards Penska. Wagner takes it on, there's Rosa on the overlap, Wagner goes for goal and it takes it it's in the back of the net, and suddenly Ferencvaros have 3 goals to the good, and Wagner has possibly put the tie beyond doubt.
And one thing I did get right was I said it would be totally different. I felt they'd be a totally different side tonight, and you know, as soon as they got themselves settled down with the first goal, it's one of them now. You know, you've got two. You're playing 4-4-2 now. Millwall want to try and press and squeeze the game as high up as they can, but you're going to leave yourself so vulnerable at the back now. And you know, when they do start to play, and they've got lots of confidence now. Ferencvaros, they're going to play their way out of trouble. It's not going to be like the start of the game where they were giving the ball short. They look like they've warmed up a little bit, and you know, they've got a little bit of quality. And all right, they've got lucky there, but it's another super break.
Wagner, who we highlighted as one of the players to follow, certainly someone who can find the back of the net. He was aided and abetted by deflection there, but they do look threatening, Ferencvaros, and they're going to find more and more gaps, I guess, now.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's one of them. It'd be interesting to see the way that Dennis goes second half. I don't know whether he might change the formation or not, but hopefully they can get something back fairly early, or certainly not concede any more goals.
Darren Ward has just been penalised, and this will be another Ferencvarosi free kick. Heading towards half-time, it's going to be a difficult team talk at the break, isn't it, for Ferencvarosi?
I'm not quite sure what you say at this stage. You know, I mean, the second goal was the one that killed the tie, but you know, the last thing you want is a bit of bad luck as well. They put them even further behind. And, it's a tough call, but they've got to keep going.
Rosa's header. Still Ferencvarosi coming forward with a shooting from all angles, and that was nowhere near the goal from Wagner, who's hit Ferencvarosi's third, but nowhere near a fourth.
No, that would have taken some deflection to go in that one, I know that.
Graham Stanton will take the goal kick. Ferencvarosi have knocked the likes of Liverpool out of Leeds and Manchester United in the past, so Millwall will be in good company if they do go out of the competition at the hands of the Budapest club.
Sure, I mean, those sides they look at now, to be fair, but they have looked a totally different proposition at home.
Muscat gives the ball away, and Wagner coming forward once again and tries to just play the ball through towards Penksa. Just caught him flat-footed, I think.
I think what Dennis will be a little bit concerned about is how many times they've actually got when they've started to pick up pace and got the ball, they've actually run at the back four like they have. And you know, when you've got runners going either way, defenders are very much, do I go to the ball, do I stay with my runner? And in the end they finish up not doing either, and you know, that's been a bit of a problem for them tonight.
Dennis Wise for Millwall. I feel with the header down, this is a bit more positive from the Lions. Simpson sizes up across and then decides to go short. Here's Livermore. That's a better ball in, but doesn't beat the big centre-half Gipes. Still not away. Eventually Zorvath can clear, and the studs must have been shown because it's a free kick.
I mean, they're just an example of where by playing Eiffel up front, they lose a little bit in midfield because they've got Livermore on one side, who's a, you know, who's a super worker. He'll put his tackles in, but he's certainly not a left winger. And over the other side, you've got Marvin Elliott, who's exactly the same as Eiffel. He works hard. He's exactly the same as Livermore. Sorry, works hard. Probably more renowned as a central defender. And you know, central midfielder, sorry, and that's why on occasions when they do get the opportunity to put in, maybe they're not quite making the most of it, but it's very much a case of needs must for Millwall at this stage.
A goal just before the break would at least make it interesting. Harris just overruns it, and Ferencvarosi get players back anyway. Into the final minute of the half, and whatever the fourth official wants to add on.
That's the good side of Liverpool's game there. He certainly gets his tackles in. He's a willing runner, but as I say, he's not really a left winger. I have to just think about the system there and just change the formation there. Get Simpson pushed on maybe a little bit further, because I've seen him play left wing before, and he seems a little bit more accustomed to that role than maybe Livermore.
Eiffel takes it on his chest well, gets away from Botish. Here's Elliott popping up left centre, and eventually Matty Lawrence. Morris, and now Wise. Millwall just stringing one or two passes together here. 2 minutes of added on time in this first half, and there's a bit of space here for Jody Morris to centre. Who's inside the penalty area? It won't fall for Eiffel, it might fall here for Dennis Wise! Millwall have pulled one back.
Interesting. It's still, you've got to get another 2 goals, haven't you? I mean, it's still a tough call, but what a fantastic. I mean, you just look at it now, you think, well, maybe if they hadn't got that deflected third goal, you know, we'd have had a really interesting game. I still think it's a tough call, but like I said, I'll make that team talk a little bit easier. Fantastic, by the way, first touch. What a super little finish.
I'm not sure Liverpool's effort was meant to be a pass, but there you go.
No, well, there's a little bit of, probably an element of luck that they deserve. You know, and it only evens up the score with regard to the third goal for Ferencvarosi, doesn't it?
It does indeed, and as you point out, it makes the team talk just a little bit different. There's a positive to end the half on. We've still got a minute left in this first 45. As we're deep into added on time, and Ferencvarosi have just got a bit more defending to do. What can Wise conjure up from here? It leaves it, in fact.
I think you need to put. I'm surprised they're calling Wardy back. I mean, we've got 2 minutes to go here. I mean, Matty Lawrence and Darren Ward should just be piling forward here. I mean, they've got to score another 2 goals. There's not a better time now to get another one, is there?
Well, we were asking for 1 in injury time. Will we get 2? Plenty of bodies inside the penalty area. One of them has gone down. It's Dennis Wise with Rocha. The 2 are up, and it will be a free kick the home side's way.
They had a battle royal at home, actually, and they've certainly continued that on, but it's all been good-natured.
Cool head, cool finish from Dennis Wise, who's got plenty of European experience.
I think he saw his livers on his right foot. I think he half expected it. He'd have been surprised if it hadn't gone to him there.
That's the end of the first 45 minutes. Ferencvarosi racing to a 3-0 win, courtesy of goals from Rocha, Botish and Wagner. 2 headers and a deflected effort from the latter. But Dennis Wise's goal in injury time just gives Millwall a bit of hope.
A glimmer. I think they'll need something to go. They'll need something, get something fairly early, I would imagine, in the second half, just to give them that little bit more encouragement. But as you say, it's a glimmer, if nothing more.
We'll be back here on Setanta Live with full second half commentary. Well, welcome back live to Budapest. The second half of this first round, second leg, UEFA Cup ties just about to get underway, with Ferencvarosi leading by 3-1 on the night, 4-2 on aggregate. But as we welcome Millwall back, and Graham Stack just about to take his position, and that goal just before half-time, as we mentioned, must have made the half-time team talk just that little bit easier for Mr.
Yeah, fantastic, isn't it? You know, we sat here wondering what was left of the game, and you know, all of a sudden, no one better than Wise, I suppose, to get them back in it. Super finish, and hopefully, if they can get something early in this half, you know, we'll have a game on. It would be fantastic if they could manage to pull this back.
Well, neither side have made any alterations. We're just taking a look here at Robert Wagner with some running repairs. It will be the home side to get this second half underway. The referee, a Dutchman, who's kept order when it's threatened to spill over. Now we're just getting information of a change, and Mark McCammon is coming on. We wondered if Millwall were going to make a change, and we're seeing McCammon here. I suppose he's more of a target man, isn't he? For
they've got nothing to lose, and you know, as you said, hopefully if it can come on, it's a threat. Probably put Eiffel one side, which is, you know, like I told you so, but I'm glad they put Eiffel wide now, because he'll certainly get at him, and he's going to be a threat in the air, McCammon. So yeah, if they can get the ball wide and they get it in there, you know, who knows how they're going to be able to handle him.
Just making the run a second too soon, a yard or so offside. McCammon is a player for me who's had 1 or 2 problems with injuries, and maybe just been a little bit unlucky. Had a bad knee injury and then a head injury last season that saw him miss out. I think he started some 3 games in what was the Nationwide League Division 1, now the Championship.
He's quick and he's strong, and he's certainly good, decent in the air, so he's going to be a threat for him tonight. That might just be the difference they need.
Great opportunity to make a name for himself as well.
Yeah, got a chance here as well, though, if he gets that.
Second opportunity to try and get it inside the penalty area. It comes for Dennis Wise and goes with his left foot. Wide of the target.
Good start though again, isn't it? I mean, they started the first half well. If they can keep this going, as I say, if they can keep this going and they can nick another one, you know, we'll certainly see a few frayed nerves in the Hungarian defence, I think. You just get the feeling that they probably need to do something within the next quarter of an hour, just to give them that little lift to see the last third of the game, you know, just to give them that impetus.
Well, Ferencvarosi did look a little bit nervy in the opening 10 minutes of the first half. Started the second as they started the first, and looking to put pressure on the likes of Balog and Kipesh at the back, and Kukmir as well. And for the most part have stood firm.
Taken Marvin off, haven't they, to actually just to hopefully utilise Eiffel's pace, because one thing is it's tricky, and you know, if you can get a little bit of room and space to run at people, you know, he can get you on the back foot and he can cause you problems.
Marvin said tricky himself. He scored the 3rd goal, remember, tonight. Gets his touch, and Botish goes long, scored the 2nd Ferencvarosi goal, and Simpson just nods it back towards Graham Stack. No blame apportioned to the on-loan Arsenal keeper. Millwall ends up by the 3 goals. He's one of the goal scorers, the first goal scorer of the night, Rocha. Ward.
Just a little bit ragged again, aren't you? Just need to press and squeeze as high up the pitch as they can, maybe nick it.
Harris coming forward, McCammon goes again. Can his long legs get there? With defending.
Good backing out as well, by the way. Good voice.
away to our right. The referee has spotted an infringement there and penalised.
Might have been the throw that was penalised. So just looking at whether he needs to look along the line. If he's got it back, I think he might have been offside. You should never get caught offside there, you know what I mean? I mean, the previous one we saw, Ives just trying to, in advance, just have a look along the line and, you know, just make sure you stay onside.
Ward's header towards McCammon, beaten in the air. Muscat, though, wins it back. Here is Toja for Ferencvarosi. Eiffel, though, for Millwall, and the blue shirts coming forward in this attack for the Londoners. Eiffel thought about the cross, looks to take on his man, loses out, and Russia and Toja between them can get the ball away. Just slips.
He came on for a little cameo role, actually. I've seen the first game. I think what they've said is, you know, if they're going to score, it's, you know, it's more than likely it's going to come down this side, and they're going to double up on Ives at times, you know. I think his movement's got to be good just to get himself a bit of space.
This is Ward. Figure up front for Millwall, does enough to send it back for Eiffel. More than Ward, get themselves into a bit of trouble. Eventually it's long towards Eiffel, who's beaten in the air by Toja.
Just picking everything up, Millwall, at this stage. You know, one or two opportunities here where the ball's just been played up and they seem to be picking up the second ball. I think it's important that they do get that defensive line as high as possible so they can keep some concerted pressure on. Every time that ball drops, you know, hopefully it'll be one of them that picks it up and then they can really play from there. What you don't want to do is, I mean, the more space and the more stretched out you are, the more they'll take advantage, because whatever you say, they're good on the ball and they do work the ball very quickly.
Penska, who's looked lively without getting on the score sheet so far for Ferencvarosi. An excellent ball over to this near side. Wagner is waiting, he goes for goal!
Good shot. He's just got him at stretch for a little while, just for a touch there. Go either way in, by the way. You know, he's got a good, you know, he's decent on either side.
I'm sure that Graham Stackle claimed that he had it covered, but it went with some velocity towards goal from Wagner, the Czech striker who's been around the block a few times, once of Slavia Prague and played in the top flight in Germany as well.
That's what also that they'll be looking to do. You just saw Dennis there. I mean, he didn't even look to see if McCammon had won it. He's just got on his bike, and I think that's something, that's just a little aspect of maybe Mark's game that he can improve. Just when he does flick the ball on, just to have a look, you can almost get up and have a look around and just see the deftness of the touch, really. He's got to just take a little bit off that flick. And if he does, Dennis, I think, or somebody from a midfield runner, hopefully will get themselves in, because he looks more than capable of winning everything that's chucked up to him today.
It's a corner to Ferencvarosi, just the second corner of the game, and the home fans making themselves heard.
Can't concede again, certainly know that.
4-1 and pretty much would be all over, wouldn't it? Toja jogs across. Bodish makes a nuisance of himself inside the penalty area. He scored a cracking header in the first half. We know he can find his way to goal. In comes the corner, high, hanging towards that back stick, and Simpson it is that puts it behind, and it will be another corner.
They're just taking McCammon out of the picture, really, aren't they? I mean, Bottas is just going completely to the near post, you know, getting him out of the air, and they're just going to hit the back post there, wherever McCammon isn't. I think that's where the ball will go.
Rocha this time from the other side, again plenty of movement and good delivery to the near post area, cleared by Ward, and Eiffel looks to get the breakaway going and might be able to do just that. He skips out of the challenge from Tosa, needs some support. Eiffel pretty much all alone. There's players coming inside the penalty area. This is a mazy run by Paul Eiffel, just tries to take on a player too many perhaps. Can he get the cross away? Does well in the end.
Fantastically, hasn't he? I mean, he's looked up, it's only Dennis that's up there with him. I think he's got 5 Hungarians, and that's probably where he's best, actually, because he's got at him, he's got nothing to lose. He loves running at people, and in the end, I mean, he's worked wonders just to get a corner out of that situation. You see the amount of defenders there are around him.
It's a corner, and it's Millwall's first, and it's flicked on at the near post, and the keeper comes and gets something on it. Dennis Wise will get a second chance to centre, plenty of swerve on the cross, but it's charged down in another corner.
Just not quite enough on it, was there? Matty Lawrence at the near post, he's got a flick, but he just hasn't quite got enough on it.
Same again will do. Certainly the previous corner caused some confusion inside that Ferencvarosi penalty area. Warden Lawrence inside the box, this time it's headed away by Gipesh. And Dennis Wise once again will have the chance to centre, this time on the left foot. Good diagonal ball towards the far post, and again the keeper shucks and comes and punches. This time more contact.
Doesn't collect a lot, does he? I mean, he had plenty of time there really to come and take that, but he does choose to punch, probably rather too often at times.
Wagner with a long ball over the top towards Peksa. Graham Stack to the edge of his penalty area, denies the Slovakian.
He's worked hard tonight, hasn't he, Penska?
Certainly caused a few problems and was involved in the third goal. Millwall, though, holding their own in this second half. A goal would most definitely make it interesting. Again, the referee has got in favour of Millwall.
Fantastic for them. If they can get a second one, you know, I think it really would open this game up.
Just about caught Morris. Did Zorvath. Free kick though sails harmlessly through.
Got to keep that tempo up, haven't you? Got to keep getting the ball forward. You know, if they're going to bring the camera on, then they've got to make sure they use him. Get the ball forward at every opportunity. And really, I don't think you have to overcomplicate it. Get the ball wide to rifle, you get up to a camera, and then really play off the second ball and the knockdowns.
I guess that's the hard thing to do against a side such as Ferencvarosi, who want to play the ball on the deck and close, quick passing and just trying to make space for themselves rather than just give it back to Millwall when they've got possession.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, what you can't do is allow them too much possession, because if they do, then, you know, the actual work you have to do to get the ball back takes so much out of you. When you do actually get possession, you know, you probably at times you need a second win to take advantage of it. And when you're tired, it's very, very difficult to play your normal game.
It's harder when you're chasing the game, there's no doubt about that. Peksa once more.
I always think you've got to, when you have good spells in games, I always think there's a time when you need to score, because, you know, when you do take your breather, you do take your foot off the pedal, often it's that little bit harder to get yourself going when you've had no reward for, you know, for certainly a good period of play in a game.
I guess that's the difference, Steve, between good sides and great sides, and you hear it all the time that teams, when they come up against the top teams, they've had their chances and they say they've deserved something from the game, but they haven't taken those chances, and that's the difference.
Well, I mean, that was the case in the first game, wasn't it? I mean, you know, they had enough chances to have gone there with a lead, and you know, I think they'll all be disappointed that that wasn't the case.
Just like the first half, Ferencvarosi coming a little bit more into the game after the opening 10 minutes from the restart. It's a throw in Millwall's favour.
They all must be my age, because they all must take, it's about how long I take to get warmed up now, about 10 minutes every half.
50-50 ball one as Millwall want to come forward. No need to throw every man forward just yet, though.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you know, they're a goal away from giving themselves a real opportunity here.
Shooks with the clearance. Michael gets taken down, and that will be a free kick.
And all of a sudden, the free kicks mean that little bit more with McGammon on there, don't they? You know, if you can get undoubted, you'll get great service. The one thing, Wisey, you know, he's got lots and lots to his game, but the one thing he is fantastic at is delivering a great ball in from dead ball situations. And, you know, if you keep getting these, hopefully they can get on the end of one of them.
I said delivery's not been that great so far tonight. We due a good one.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really had a great deal to hit, has he? I mean, as I say, with McGammon, if he sticks it in a hole, let's just see how they get on.
Short this time, one from the training ground. Muscat involved, doesn't quite work out as Harris just fluffed his lines in the penalty area.
Disappointing, isn't it, when you've got a player like McGammon on there? Unless it works, you'd probably rather see him getting it in the box and let McGammon get on the end of it.
Ferencvarosi 3, Millwall 1 on the night, 4-2, the Hungarian champions lead on aggregate. We've got just over half an hour to go here in Budapest, and Millwall, having given themselves a lifeline just before the break, need to score another couple. Penska is taken down, but play continues as Matty Lawrence just rolls it back for Graham Stack. Eiffel and Penska continue the argument.
I always wonder about just those situations there. I mean, where's the advantage? I mean, when you get free kicks, you get situations like that. I mean, how long does a referee? What's to stop the referee? The ball goes through to the keeper, and it's clearly a foul. Bringing the ball back and giving the side a chance. If you know what's happening, has he been hit by? What's happening there?
Well, Harris wanted to continue, and Laszlo Zhuk's the keeper, was obviously fouled. And again, we've got a bit of a melee, which the referee deals with well enough.
So what's happening there? He stood on his toe.
Well, Harris obviously thought that the ball was still alive.
Yeah, but there wasn't anybody there before. We didn't actually see anyone in the picture. All we saw was him come down. Oh, he's still on his toe. Oh, that was so painful. Good grief. I would check his studs. Honestly.
Well, just a few minutes wasted.
See, you're right, you can go off and have a chuckle, can't you? I mean, that is absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Oh.
There's going to be a game of football breaking out any second. Simpson takes it away from the Ferencvarosi midfielders. Lipskov, you've not seen too much of, and suddenly there's another player down. This time it's Toja, I think.
I think he's made the tackle, and I think
it's Balog, in fact, that's gone down.
Just made the tackle. I think Simpson's momentum more than anything has carried him into him. But it's just strange that all of a sudden, it's half an hour left, and they're going down rather easily, aren't they? All of a sudden the game's just a bit fractious, it's getting broken up. We're seeing 2 or 3 minutes wasted again here, and just maybe I'm being a little bit over-sceptical.
It just seems a little bit too early for the players to start going down like that.
It's not. I can promise you that now. As long as he retains all the time.
Looked like we were going to see further change here, and it's Josh Simpson that's coming off.
I think he'll probably put Livermore back now, and Sweeney will go and play left wing. So
he's a tricky customer. He can beat a man, he can cross a ball. The Scottish under-21 international Peter Sweeney is on.
Yeah, I spoke to Dennis last week about him. Actually, he said this. He's so far he's been a little bit inconsistent, but certainly on this day, and I've played with him for 3 or 4 months when he got in the first team. He's certainly someone who could come on and change a game. So hopefully that can be the case tonight.
Meanwhile, Ferencvarosi making a change as well. Tells you the player who's coming off. A little of applause, and we're about to see Leonardo here, who is Brazilian born but represents Hungary, a nationalised Hungarian just the other season. Has been in Hungary for a good few years now. A defender.
They've both pretty much set the stall out, haven't they? One's put an attacker on and one's put a defender on, so I'm well aware of the intentions of both sides.
It's Leonardo who wins the ball back for Ferencvarosi, but the delivery inside the penalty area isn't great. It's a good header back from Livermore to Stack. Just breaks up the play though, doesn't it, really, the substitutions, and absolutely. The momentum has just perhaps gone.
Just need to get the ball forward and so work off the knockdowns.
McGavin caught offside. Just over 25 minutes left, and we'll just now need to start to make things happen for me.
Used to be I think he used to actually run for a 100-metre sprinter for Great Britain, I think, or something. He, you know, he's one of the quickest lads in the country at one stage.
Former Brentford target man, and as we were mentioning before, he's been a little bit unlucky with injuries and hasn't really established himself at Millwall, but if there's ever a time to make a name for yourself, then this is it. 3-1 down away from home in the second leg of a UEFA Cup tie, 4-2 on aggregate. Ferencvarosi lead. Here is Muscat. Uses the body well as Eiffel comes forward. Harrison McGammon ahead of him, tries to play it through to McGammon, doesn't quite come off, and now looks like he can come away with possession for Ferencvaros. Flag surely will go up there.
Just maybe wanted Eiffel just to pop that off just a tad earlier there, and maybe then go again for the second ball. He's well offside there.
So he caught the wrong side of the Millwall rear guard, and it will be a free kick. High, long, just outside of the penalty area. Doesn't bounce for a Millwall player though on this occasion. That's why, as I say, they should be able to come forward with possession once more. Morris makes himself available. Here is Jody Morris. Looks to pick out Muscat on this near side, but it's wasted really, and now Millwall on the back foot. Wagner's touch.
Although, I mean, they're containing them fairly easy. It's probably one of the most comfortable periods in the game for Millwall. But you just don't get the feeling they can open them up yet, do you? And I mean, that's vital. They'll take this at this stage.
They know that Millwall will have to score twice, and maybe there's an opportunity here as McGammon goes forward. The ball will roll behind for a corner.
Almost sounds too basic, doesn't it? But I think, you know, if you can get the ball forward like that, he's going to be a threat even if he doesn't get a touch on it. Just get around him and get on the second ball.
Dennis Suarez will take. Quicker this time, looking for McGammon. It's flicked on. Eiffel is there. McGammon is there. And still the ball isn't clear from Ferencvaros. It might fall here as it's spun and turn, and oh, it hits the side netting from Harris.
He's getting a bit carried away, actually. I mean, that's just one of those where you just need the ball just to drop to your right, that's all. And I don't think at any stage it ever came down for anyone to have a comfortable chance.
It eventually came to Harris, who swivelled just the wrong side of the post.
Yeah, that was the one, wasn't it? Just fails to drop to McCammon. Could have gone anywhere off Matty Lawrence. Actually touches a hand there as well, and just spins away from Neil Harris. But as we say, I mean, if you put the ball in the mixer, so to speak, you know, they're going to have problems.
Is that the sort of goal that Neil Harris was scoring for fun a couple of years ago, perhaps?
Possibly. It's a difficult chance, that. I mean, yeah, I, mean, I think you just lose your bearings because you turn your back on the ball, and all of a sudden, just that split second, it's gone, and then you're trying to pull the ball back across, and it just kicked on a little bit off the surface.
So meanwhile, is off the field of play for a second, the Slovakian international. Leonardo, the Brazilian-born Hungarian, gets a touch, and again Harris up inside the final third, but Leonardo does well, and this player's over on the far side. He does well to knock the ball behind, and just the minute I thought that was going to be a corner, it was a goal kick.
He did well there, actually. I mean, he's positioned himself really, really well. I mean, he's got side on, and he's able to see what's behind him. He's alert to the danger. But, how much ambition Ferencvarosi have got now? I just think that if Millwall can get the, as you say, get the ball forward, as you know, at every opportunity, just work off of that.
It's a free kick.
Yeah, another chance to.
You were about to say knock it long into the penalty area.
Well, work the ball wide or knock it long, whatever.
Here is McCammon's header, knocks it back towards the likes of Morris and Wise, who were scampering in and around the penalty area. It's still not away, and Penska can come forward now. Should he have gone for goal?
No, absolutely not. He made the right decision. I mean, he's taken up a super position. He gets far post, and what happens is the ball comes in, he can then face up and he can attack the ball. And he's done that, and to be fair to him, it's a good header back across just one of those that you put it into an area, and unfortunately it's not a Millwall player who gets there first.
The Lions holding their own against Ferencvarosi in this second half, but they need to score 2 to go through to the group stages of the UEFA Cup. But if they do go out, it's not through lack of trying.
So they've had a real go, haven't they? Very much so. I mean, they could have gone under. You know, 3-0 down. It was a tough course, a tough place to go, but they got the goal back. And, you know, they probably deserve a goal for their second half efforts.
It would set up a grandstand finish. There's no doubt about that. Leonardo's ball outside the penalty area falls safely into the arms of Graham Stack. Nowhere to go on that far side, and the ball is lofted forward but spins out of play.
Very tight, very tight. You just think maybe that at this stage they just maybe take their foot off the pedal, Ferencvarosi. I think they're you might say almost in the comfort zone. You know, it's going to take another Millwall goal to liven it up a little bit.
Well, Harris has come off, and Barry Cogan is coming on. Another player who's come up through the academy ranks, another player that possesses a bit of skill.
Yeah, I think they'll put Eiffel now back in the middle. They've got pace and power up front now, and you know, they'll certainly look to utilise that.
Muscat just sees the ball run over his outstretched right boot, but does enough to win it back, and Eiffel is involved, and Muscat once more. Lawrence.
They're almost happy just to get 11 men in front of the ball, contain Millwall. Yeah, and it would have been fantastic if they'd managed to just nick something there. I think it really would have put them on the back foot. But plenty of time left yet.
Good looking ball in as well, and the keeper comes and punches once more. The best of punches, but enough to send it away from goal. Eventually the ball is centred and McCammon jumps, but it's cleared by Gipesh. Dennis Wise with the acrobatics to get the ball towards the penalty area once more. Rosa can clear only as far as Matty Lawrence, and eventually it's Muscat that swings the ball in towards McCammon. And eventually to Cogan, a first touch for the latest substitute, does well, beats his man. What about the cross? It's low, and Ferencvarosi can clear.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness to the keeper, I mean, it was a good punch this time. It was the only option for him. But if they can keep putting those balls in, they do look susceptible. And if McCammon can get himself to the back post, we've already seen what he can do, then, you know, he's certainly a threat.
Marek Penkser has worked hard, and he's coming off the field of play.
Where are they getting these numbers from? 99, 90, 78, 88.
One for the spread better, Steve.
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
Here is Muscat. What's the delivery like? That's excellent, and there's a chance here for Millwall, and straight to the keeper. Sweeney's effort.
Oh, it's on his favoured foot as well. I really thought, I mean, it's a great run in. That's a fantastic. He'll be a little bit disappointed, I feel, with that, because that's a great opportunity if he can just have managed to get a little bit more on that. We've seen 2 half-decent chances there in the last 5 minutes.
Ferencvarosi have been on the rack for that period. There's no doubt about that. Millwall have had some excellent opportunities to try and get back into this tie. Bookmere coming forward, goes the goal from distance, but it's way wide of the target.
1 or 2 times when, as you say, you get to a game like this, and I mean they didn't have. Don't get me wrong. Millwall didn't have a massive amount of chances in the first leg. They had 3 or 4 very good ones, and you know that's probably another one that you can put down to the list. And when you look over the 2 games and you say, right, who's had the most chances? You know, probably even the most play. You would have to say it's Millwall.
If it stays as it is, then certainly I think Dennis Wise and Co can take a good few positives out of the 2-leg affair.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been a credit to the club. You know, everybody. There's not too many out there who's had a bad game.
Certainly in the second half, the performance has been excellent from Dennis Wise's man as Sweeney takes a touch, and Millwall look to go again. McCammon is impressed since coming on in this second half. Once again makes his way inside the penalty area. What can Eiffel do from the wide position? Eventually the ball comes in, it's towards McCammon, who flicks it on. And there's players coming forward, and Ferencvarosi rather scrappily get it away, but get it away they do.
Yeah, as you say, I mean, he's done well since he's been on McCammon. I think he's got a bang on the head there from someone might have just caught him in the back of the head. But I saw him at Ipswich, and he didn't have the best of games, but tonight, he's looked almost a different player. He's been a real threat. I'm surprised anyone's got up high enough to head in there. Some jump.
Well, I can't believe that he's faking this, because obviously Millwall are chasing the game. I'm not sure why the Ferencvarosi fans are.
Oh, that is a goal. Well, he's certainly not faking it.
Ferencvarosi fans don't like it. The ice pack is on. Wise & Co. try to plot Ferencvarosi's downfall in this last quarter of an hour. Can they do anything differently?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's obviously it was very, very difficult. They got the goal. They came for. Unfortunately, conceded 2, unlucky with a third. Really did put them on the back foot. But what you can say is, as you say, they take full credit out of this game, because they've gone. And I mean, he'll take a lot out of this game. Then simply because they've kept going and they've kept going and they've kept going. And at 3-0 down, it's easy just to chuck the towel in. But they're not that sort of side. They're not those type of players. And they've kept going, and they'll see this right the way through now.
Battling all the way through to the 90th minute, you can be assured of that. Any side of Dennis Wise's. 15 minutes to go as Leonardo takes the touch, and Wagner gets it back towards the big number 10 on this left-hand side. Muscat does enough, and once again just a little bit of afters between a couple of the players. Leonardo runs away. I think I'd run away if I was facing Kevin Muscat.
A little bit strange, isn't it? I mean, they're 3-1 up. It's just totally unnecessary.
McCammon fit and well, and good enough to just flick it forward towards Kogan, who's racing through midfield. Zorvat does enough just to hold up Millwall for a second, and eventually the challenge coming in on Sweeney is enough to give Millwall another free kick. Does this one go straight in the penalty area?
I would imagine so. I mean, they'll probably try and work the angle. As I say, if you can get that, hit that, make sure the angle where you get a diag for McCammon to come on and head it, they'll want to do that. But this does look like, yeah, this will go straight in.
Ward and McCammon take their positions. Inside the penalty area, McCammon wins the flick on, and there's blue shirts inside that penalty area.
Hardly a challenge, was there, on him? Almost a free header.
Another chance to centre here for Kogan. Neat skills to get away from 1 and then 2, and still going. A touch from Morris, and Muscat wants it. What's the delivery like? Out swinger. Again, the keeper punches, and the shot is fired in. Oh!
Hit the post, isn't it? It's the bottom of the post.
Sweeney's strike, a sweet one. I think it has cannoned off the bottom of the post.
I wonder he shakes his head, and it's a great ball in. The keeper gets it right, and he gets it. It has. It's gone right off the post. Oh, sure, Donald there. Bad luck that is. I mean, we really would have had a great 15 minutes, wouldn't we, if that had gone in. Oh, they've had unlucky, haven't they, been second half?
You just start to scratch your head, and you think, why haven't they scored? How haven't they scored?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just hasn't, on the night, I mean, it just hasn't, certainly over the 2 legs. Things haven't gone their way.
Another player booked, incidentally. The keeper goes into the referee's notebook. Millwall come forward once again. The flick from Kogan towards McCann. Rocher is there, and it comes off a Millwall boot. That will be a Ferencvarosi throw-in. Just wonder, I guess, how much energy they've used up in this second half.
You just, as I say, when you're having a good spell, you need that goal just to give you that little bit extra lift.
Millwall have to get players back. Livermore does enough, although it still manages to come inside the penalty area. Now perhaps the break is on. Millwall need to get players forward. Sweeney has possession over on the left-hand side, runs in to the Ferencvarosi defender. And Rosa should be able to clear for the Hungarians and does, but Millwall win it back.
Lucky not to have a brace, isn't he?
Two well-struck efforts. Well, the first one was on target,
yeah,
probably.
Could have done better with the first one, but can't ask any more of the second one. It was a fantastic effort.
Morris. Muscat. Still Millwall encamped really in the Ferencvarosi half, and that's what they have done over the last 25 minutes or so.
I really think he can ask a lot more of them, can he?
It's a spirited display, there's no doubt about that.
It is indeed.
Muscat, maybe there's something left in Millwall. We've still got 11 minutes left here in Budapest as Lawrence and Ward trade passes. Here is Muscat. McCammon. Kogan flicks it up towards Muscat once more. We've seen a bit more of Kevin Muscat coming forward in the second half.
Yeah, well, he's had to. I mean, at times, when teams defend deep like that, it's often the fullbacks that get most time and the most space, you know, and everybody else seems to be picked up. Ball comes out and Muscat's the one that's putting it in, and it's important that he gets in advanced areas to do that.
Ferencvarosi fans that are happy at the moment, though, as it stands, it will be the Hungarian champions who will be going through to the group stages of the UEFA Cup.
We actually sat here, didn't we? I mean, after 35, 40 minutes, we're looking at it thinking, you know, this is going to be a long night. It's a tough game. But they've made this watchable. They've made a game of it, Millwall. And, you know, as I say, I mean, he can take a lot from this, Dennis.
Not over yet. 10 minutes on the clock here in Budapest. Dennis Wise orchestrates from the back as Millwall begin to get players forward in yet another attack. Here is Kogan. They've doubled up on the youngster, and the challenge is in from Leonardo.
What they have done is anyone who's got the ball wide, they've made sure they're going to force it back to the fullback. He's not going to get wide. He's not going to get to the byline and get a decent ball in.
Morris spins and tries to get Kogan away. Muscat is brought down. Play continues.
Might have just caught. I think Muscat might have just. Unintentionally, I think he might have just caught the lad in the face there. He's gone for a tackle.
Well, I think the outcome is going to be a free kick Millwall's way and a chance for Dennis Wise to centre. Challenge came in and
just caught him.
Muscat eventually ending up on the deck himself. Dennis Wise offers instructions and encouragement. Maybe something a bit stronger as well. McGammon's inside the penalty area, so is Ward. Morris arriving as Wise gets it in there, and every single Ferencvarosi player was inside the penalty area then, it seemed, and anywhere will do from the clearance. They don't seem to make it easy on themselves, the amount of bodies to try and get inside the 6-yard area.
Yeah, as I say, I think they're just trying. They've settled for this now, Ferencvarosi. They don't want to give away what they've got, and you know, that's what I'm saying. That you just feel like the complexion of the game would have changed if Millwall could have nicked that all-important second goal.
Lawrence. Muscat. McCammon just caught wrong-footed. This will be able to clear. In fact, he knocks it back to the keeper, who does the job for him. Muscat, though, with the positive header forward. Here is Botish, one of the goal scorers tonight, to clear. Not really seen anything of Ferencvarosi as an attacking force.
No, I mean, it's often almost subconsciously you just settle for what you've got, you know. And it was almost like that the first leg. I mean, at 0-0, they just weren't a threat. As soon as Millwall scored, they certainly upped their game a little bit. But by that time, it could and should have been all over for them.
McCammon back to goal, forced away from the penalty area, but still Millwall coming forward. Shot from some distance from Sweeney, who's hit the post for Millwall tonight, remember. Still Ferencvarosi haven't got this ball away. Eiffel now takes over, looking to make progress on the left-hand side. Good running from Eiffel, and the ball runs behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, he put his arm up and he let it go, so you think he'd give the ref too much opportunity to go against him there.
In front of the Millwall fans as Dennis Wise centres. doesn't beat the first man. The whistle doesn't go. Ferencvarosi hack it to safety. No one on this near side as Kevin Muscat had made his way forward. Here is Morris. Kogan. That's attempting to go. The flag is up on the near side. Matty Lawrence was felled.
Yeah, probably looking for that, but that's just what they wanted. Yeah. Doesn't look too hurt, does he?
Nonetheless, Millwall have a free kick.
I think he might be asking Sweeney to put this one in, maybe, or I think it is Sweeney. Yeah, he's going to just going to change the angle of the ball in.
This is going to come on to the keeper. Whipped in by Sweeney. Not too much height on it.
Never enough pace on that ball, is there?
Livermore under a bit of pressure here from Zorvath. Livermore does well. Second attempt, but Ferencvarosi can clear, and now Millwall have to get some players back. Holding their line well as the challenge comes in, and it was a good one by McCammon. The referee allows play to continue. Eiffel working tirelessly, and Millwall somehow managed to win the ball back. Sweeney. There's no doubt that Millwall deserve a goal for their second half performance.
Subs have done all right as well, by the way. Come on, Barry Kogan. Looked nice and lively. Sweeney got himself into the game sharpish. And Cameron's up to 3. Think about who they've got missing as well. There's 2 big players in Hales and Dicchio. You know, and you get the feeling maybe it just wasn't meant to be.
There is Kogan, tries to trick his way down the right-hand side, but caught out. And Alexander Bajewski, the substitute, makes a run in between Millwall players and then gives the ball away. Maybe a chance here for Sweeney to put it through, and on the edge of the penalty area, Eiffel goes down.
Free kick. You always look at the reaction of the players here, and I think, I think that possibly might have been a free kick. It certainly seems like it's been hard done by their eyes.
Oh, he's just lost the fight of the ball there, and he's been penalised here for just dragging back Bajewski.
Just in case they just crossed each other, didn't they?
Lawrence got away with one at the other end. He's just conceded one here that might have gone the other way. Leonardo, the Brazilian, puts the ball down. It's some way out, but he obviously fancies his chances here. Graham Stack has not had too much to do over the past 25 minutes or so. Will have to be on his toes as the Brazilian-born defender looks like he's going to let fly some distance. He does let fly, and Stack seems to lose it in the air, and eventually has to dive hard to his right.
Always seems to get ball always seems to swerve more when the left foot hits it. I don't know why, but as I say, he hasn't had a great. I mean, it's probably the first thing he's had to do all second half.
Increasingly looking like it's a case of what might have been for Millwall.
Probably been what, 25 minutes over the 2 games where they've been second best. Apart from that, and very little between the 2 sides. Probably Millwall just edged it.
Ferencvarosi about to make a change, and it's Thomas Sawumni who's about to come on, a Nigerian-born player, another who's a naturalised Hungarian, has appeared for the national side, and Robert Wagner, who scored, well, he's turning out to be the all-important 3rd goal by way of a deflection. He's coming off.
Yeah, I've got to say, 2-0, get a chance to get a goal like they had done, and you're in with a squeak. But at 3, it was always going to be a massive ask.
Those 3 first-half goals coming in a 15-minute spell, really, for Ferencvarosi, when they did run the game and Millwall looked uneasy at the back and gaps appeared. And you've got to give credit to the Hungarian side. They just took advantage and took their chances, unlike Millwall, who have had them in the second half.
Probably been the difference, isn't it? Said they've had no more chance than Millwall. Millwall certainly probably had more opportunities over the 2 games, but unfortunately for them, they just haven't been able to finish it off.
I think don't know what would have happened if Millwall had scored a second tonight, do we? That's
as I say, I mean,
they
did. The Hungarians, you know, will have settled for this. They'd have taken this, and you know, at 3-2 maybe they would have come out and been more ambitious. It certainly was the case at Millwall. They looked a different side after they'd gone behind. But as I say, by then, you know, Millwall probably should have been away and gone. So you know, you always get the feeling they may have, you know, they'll settle for this and probably just said, right, we'll defend with what we've got, and subconsciously you take a step back. But
McCammon onto this like a flash. What can Mark McCammon do here? Tries to take a second touch. Maybe he was better off trying to go for goal. Still not away. And this is Eiffel with a header. And eventually it's cleared. Big cry of handball from the Millwall fans away to our right.
I'm with you on that one. I mean, I think possibly the first opportunity, he'd have been better off just striking it with his left foot. Secondly, seen him given, although I thought it was going to be a decent enough chance, but the defender has done reasonably well there to get across.
Referee has spotted a foul on Barry Cogan, and this will be another chance for Millwall to centre. Muscat leaves it this time.
Get it in the mix-up. This would be quite fitting actually if they were to score. It certainly deserves something from the second leg.
First ball in from the right, from the left lead. Sweeney didn't beat the first defender. The second ball in beats everyone.
Yeah, he's done well with the punch of the keeper. Can't even catch the ball tonight.
He's caught one. The fourth official down below us tells us there are 4 minutes of added on time. I think one or two people are going to... Sorry, Steve.
Never really got within touching distance, have they? You know, when they've had their bit of the game and they've had control, they've never actually really got within touching distance. It's made it difficult, but then you also get it's more the more credit for the way that they've kept going like that.
Scoreline though doesn't tell the full story if it stays as it is.
No, I mean, as you say, I mean they played very well for 15-20 minutes over probably the two legs, and yeah, that's been the difference.
Muscat's just been caught. Now like a bank challenge coming in on the Australian. He's up on his feet quickly enough. The yellow card has been issued, I think, to Alexander Bajewski. That's the 5th booking on the Ferencvarosi side. 6 bookings in total.
I think it's one of those, you go past me, then you're coming down.
Well, here is Sweeney again. What can we expect this time around? The delivery has been poor so far. This one looks to be a little bit better. Again, the keeper punches.
Just the trajectory just needs a little bit more on it, a little bit lower, a bit more pace. That's all.
Sweeney's header. Leonardo can clear for Ferencvarosi. Moore will have to be aware at the back as the white shirts come forward, although in truth there's no real support for Bajewski, and just when you think that they might break away, no one really goes forward.
Just what he wanted, wasn't it? I mean, he's going to hold the ball up, he's going to draw the foul, he's going to waste another couple of minutes, and that's what they've done.
2 minutes into added on time, a further 2 to come. Rosa, who scored the first goal of the night, quite content to wind down a bit more of the clock here.
They'll feel they've done enough, won't they? They'll feel like they've had their 20 minutes. They've scored the 3 goals, and they'll probably feel like they could have upped it at any time. But having said that, they've had a real good game over the 2 legs. I mean, I don't think you could have asked any more.
This is it when the boot's on the other foot, so to speak. If you're a Ferencvarosi fan, you'd say that you were comfortable.
Absolutely. You'd say that you've done what you had to do. You've done enough. In the 15-minute period, you've won the game. But we're not looking for
certainly can't mark them down as potential UEFA Cup winners.
No. I mean, they'd certainly have to play a lot better than over the 2 years to go further.
in it. And beyond. Inside the final minutes of added on time.
I mean, when you look at the sides that are still left in it, that are in it, and are competing at this stage, I mean, it wasn't the easiest draw they could have got either, was it, to be fair to Millwall?
Certainly drew unlucky. Could have got a big name, which would have been great for the Bank Palace and the supporters, or maybe a side that they could have beaten and got through. They've got neither. This is McCammon. Oh, it's off the post again.
Well, it's not their man, is it? It's not their man. It's the first time someone's put a decent ball in, isn't it? It's a super ball in. All of a sudden, I mean, McCammon's 6'8". I mean, he's certainly found a lot of space. I don't quite know how they can miss him. But it's two times that the ball's gone in the box. He's been totally unmarked.
He's coming forward. Suspicion of handball there, surely, but play continues. This is going to be unfair if it's a goal. Oh, and it's not. Well, I thought there was handball in the build-up.
Yeah, it would have been rough justice, I think. At one stage it was 4 against 1, but certainly would have been undeserved.
4 minutes of added on time are up. Millwall have gone out of the UEFA Cup in the first round, but not without a fight. 3 first-half goals from Rosa Bodic and Wagner gave the home side the advantage. Dennis Wise gave Millwall hope just before the break, and Millwall dominated the second half. They struck the post twice through Sweeney, through McGammon, looked the better side in the second half, but now it's back to domestic matters. What can Millwall take out of these 2 games, Steve?
I mean, they've been fantastic over the 2 games. As you can see, their supporters are fully appreciative of their efforts, and I mean, over the 2 games, as I say, apart from the 20 minutes, there's been very little between the 2 sides, and Millwall probably the better of the 2, but we thought before the game, you know, when they do want to turn it on, and you know, and they do up the tempo, you know, for 15-20 minutes, they took control. They made their chances count, which I think over the 2 legs you can say has been the difference between the 2 sides.
Well, from myself, Dan Roebuck, and Steve Claridge here in Budapest, that winds it up for Millwall's UEFA Cup run of 2004-2005. They've been beaten on aggregate by Ferencvarosi by 4 goals to 2.